Yeah, everyone. Indie Comics Killer, SJWs of Tokyo, and I'm Godzilla. You just got Blackjack, and I'm your card dealer. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver, 28-year veteran of this broken, fucked up comic book industry, world's most charming, disarming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man, great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media. Great to be with you tonight as we usher in a brand new Comicsgate series by the incredibly gifted, classically trained, legendary artist Graham Nolan. Great to be with all of you. Really, this is very, very exciting. And I'm happy to be with you. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Snuggy Jr. says, looking thinner, EVS. That's all in your head. I mean, you guys are being very nice, but I think I'm just as fat as I've ever been. I mean, I'm losing a little bit of weight, but it's going to be slower. It's going to be a much slower progression, I think. Is there going to be a Shanu Snowman crossover, says Moobutt. No plans for that now, but we're all ears. Ryan Blue Thunder says, coming in hot, broadcasting straight from the basement of the Alamo. Oh, I didn't even think of that. This is the basement. We are going to be promoting Alien Alamo tonight. That's the name of the new Graham Nolan comic book. Then I don't know. We're going to see what we can do. I think it's almost funded, but we are going to make it happen here. Welcome. Darth Scipio says EVS is humble. Spirit Scar says you look as, and I think we could figure out what he's going to say next. Ketrasol White says, ugh, EVS. What did you expect? Who did you expect? Of course, it's me. Fat in the wallet, chubby in the face, says Fraud79. Let me see. EVS is still the fattest human sunbeam. Wow, you guys are really great. Slaybell says, you're all nose, actually. My God. I take abuse left and right. That's why I'm telling you, I was meant to be a prize fighter. I could take a beating. I really could. I could get into the ring. I mean, if it was an emotional prize fight, jabs left and right, trying to hurt my heart, I can do it. I know I can. I would be just fine. No mercy, says Simple Green. No mercy. Stop victimizing me. No, never stop victimizing me. I am the victim. I am the victim. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. A really swell fella. Proud to introduce you to Graham Nolan. Hi, Graham. How are you?
Well, I don't know how I can argue with that. That was a wonderful introduction.
There's no need to argue. Everybody already knows it's true. Graham Nolan, congratulations on launching Alien Alamo. Let's take a look at this. Wow, how do you like that?
I love the burn through. I told Nick Grosh, who had done the video for me, and he also did the Shanu video. I said, hey, can you do like the Thing from Another World burn through of the logo,
Yeah.
Tie in that whole sci-fi thing? And he came back with that. And I was like, yes, that's awesome.
Gorgeous, beautiful. 1957, those effing Russians. You know what I mean? They caused all this.
The commies launching that Sputnik.
They sent Sputnik up in space, and that kind of attracted the aliens to come here, these mother effers. However, They're going to come anywhere. Houston is fine. Frankly, if you're going to take over any part of Texas, Houston would be good. What's another part of Texas that we could give them? Austin. Oh my God.
I've never been to Austin.
Oh my, it's just filled with dirty, filthy hippies. I mean, I don't know what happened to Texas. Texas used to be this. This is what Texas used to be. Now, in so many ways, it has become Pussyville, filled with soy-filled Texas, especially Austin. Houston, too.
A lot of California is moving there. I mean, I think that's part of the problem. They're fleeing California for Arizona and Texas.
Why are we allowing them to do that?
Well, I don't know. Half of New York's fleeing too. So
we got to just stay where you are. We got to get these people contained. Like, they brag about living in California and New York. We want you to live there. We need to know where you are at all times. We're watching these people. You stay where you're supposed to be. You keep your 55 electoral votes and whatever New York. What's New York? Like 50? New York's probably a lot. Maybe like 40 or something.
Well, maybe less now. I mean, at one point, they were leaving like over 1,000 a day.
Yeah, it's too much. We can't. Unless New Yorkers can go east and Californians can go west, and that's it, right into the ocean, and that's fine with me. Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. A father and son battle to save the world as well as their relationship in 1957, Texas. Here it is. Here's Alien Alamo. Is that?
Say it.
I know what you think I'm going to say. Is that Sam Elliott?
Yes,
but I'm not. I'm going to say, is that Edwin Boyette? That's not Edwin Boyette?
No, it is Sam Elliott. It's based on Sam Elliott.
Oh, I see. Well, I think Edwin Boyette has based himself on Sam Elliott, so there's every reason to be confused. Compass Comics presents the must-have comic book of 2021. Here's the story. Let me read the story, and you tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, I wrote it, so you can't be wrong.
Well, if I read it, yeah. I'm pretty sure these are pretty good notes because you wrote them. But it's 1957, and these Russians have launched Sputnik into orbit, and they scared the piss out of everyone in the United States. And the reason why is because the fact that they were able to put a basketball-sized satellite into orbit meant that they had developed missiles, intercontinental missiles, that were capable of delivering a nuclear payload anywhere in the United States of America. And it scared everybody because we didn't have that capacity yet. The Russians did. They did it first. So we had a lot of catch up to do. And that is why they murdered John F. Kennedy. Right or wrong?
Well, I don't know about the Kennedy thing. I'm not a big historian in that era.
No, that was later. That was like six years later, anyway. So probably they'd gotten over it. Yeah. All right. So it's the world was changing, and World War II veteran Travis Houston was struggling to adapt. All Travis wanted when he mustered out of the Marine Corps at the end of World War II was some peace and quiet and a safe place to raise his son James. But the horrors he experienced in the Pacific. This is like Man in the Gray Flannel Suit, except not because he doesn't wear gray flannel. You ever see that movie?
Is that Gregory Peck?
Yeah, it's Gregory Peck. It's a good movie about a fellow who, he was in the war and he struggled to maintain his life as a dull suburban corporate apparatchik, in a gray flannel suit. So I'm just another douchebag in a gray flannel suit. And he missed the romance, the drama, excitement of the war. Imagine what we're missing. We never did. I mean,
a lot of those guys, they didn't call it PTSD, but a lot of those guys had it. In World War I, they called it shell shock. Yeah, but later on, we diagnosed it as PTSD. And Audie Murphy had it. He slept with a loaded 45 under his pillow till the day he died. Would wake up in night sweats, and James Stewart. James Stewart had it.
That's why he stuttered.
Well,
Maybe,
that
I don't
whole
know.
sequence where he freaks out in, what's the Christmas movie?
Oh, It's a Wonderful
It's
Life?
a Wonderful Life, yeah, where he freaks out at the bar and, he was having a PTSD moment there, and they caught it on film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, you know, I don't know if it's I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it would be PTSD what Gregory Peck has in this.
Mhm.
But he does have to drink a lot
Mm.
because I think he had a child overseas. I think that's the story. Anyway, watch it. It's all about the 1950s. It's all about being a man in the 1950s and settling down in suburbia when you'd rather be killing the Japanese, you know. And we can all still relate to that. But we no, we never got to, Graham. We never got to. I talked to Billy Tucci, and Billy Tucci says his one fondest wish is to fight in World War II, jump out of an airplane, uh, D-Day. You know,
Mhm.
that's what he wants more than anything. He wanted to kill those Krauts. You know, I do too.
They all did back then. I mean, they were a huge threat to everything.
Is this conversation making you uncomfortable? Is it okay if we talk about this?
I
Wanting
love
to
talking about World War II.
wanting to kill the Germans and the Japanese. That's
I like to kill all enemies of the United States.
yes, yes, yes. Me too. All right. The meteor shower changed all that. Only it wasn't a meteor shower. It was an invasion. Creatures from another world want ours. That's very, very much like whatchamacallit, War of the Worlds. You know, they watch the Earth with envious eyes.
Right?
You know, they want our world. They want our world. It's very powerful. And the only thing standing between them is a man, a boy, and his dog. Well, we're fucked, right? I mean,
Well, keep reading.
okay. The Houstons are vastly outnumbered, but they are Texans and they have each other. So the odds might just be even. So we got a nice piece of art here of the aliens actually look scrumptious. I'm gonna see. I like seafood. The aliens actually do look delicious. Are they highly intelligent?
No, they're herd minds. They're like Democrats.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at this amazing wraparound cover, colored by Elizabeth Breitweiser. Correct. I think that's a spelling error there. I think it's
I think so too. I think I spelled Elizabeth wrong.
yeah. With your help, this book promises to be even better than the Chinook. Is that possible? You bet. Why do you say you bet? The Chinook was good.
Oh, I know, but you always shoot for something better. You know, you hit the further home run. You know, you always
Okay.
looking to be better.
All right. We will start by having a gorgeous full color wraparound cover. The interior will be black and white to start. But if we hit the stretch goal, we will go full color baby. And that's when the fun begins. All right. So these are the stretch goals that we're looking for. We're trying to get to 15K. We're trying to get the collectibles trading card. When we get to 15K, I think we've funded the book. We are currently at $11,725. We refresh it and we see that now we're at 12,600. We could do this, guys. I
Oh
believe that
yeah,
we could do this. All right. So here are our choices, and you're saying that the featured tier is what here?
it's the 3-pack. You'll get the Alien Alamo book with all 3 collector covers: the wraparound cover, the cover B, which is done by Aaron Lopresti, and cover C, which is done by Butch Geis.
Butch Geis. Yeah, he's great, man. Oh, is it just penciled or is he going to finish it?
Oh, it'll be finished. That's all they could get to me before launch date. But as the inks come in, I'll replace that image with the inked version, and then when it's colored, I'll replace it with the colored version.
Okay. So this is the one. This is the tier that people should back, and of course, when they back this, I'm sure it will come with other stretch goals. This is going to do good. Your last book did almost $90,000, and I think
Oh, it
this
did do
one
9.
it did 90,000. Okay, great. This one's gonna do 6 figures. You watch. You watch. You watch
I
what
hope so.
happens.
I'm pretty confident. The fans are coming back for it because they really liked how I handled the Chinook campaign, and we pick up some new ones, and that'd be even better.
Excellent. All right, so here we go. A lot of people are going to want to buy you a beer, but it might not be today. Today is the day that people back and reserve their copy of the comic book or copies of the comic book. And we hope it's copies of the comic book. Don't just buy one. Buy three. Buy the 3-pack. Let's get this campaign up to where it should be. We're going to break 13,000 in just a few minutes here. That's the chat is doing great. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, somebody bought you a beer. My mistake. Somebody already purchased you a beer. Here's Adam Post. Oh, God. Hi, Adam.
Oops, I did it again.
Hey, Adam.
I ruined everything again.
No, Adam. We're happy to see you.
Oh, I love to see you guys. And I just have to say, I was kind of going on about this earlier, but The Canoe is a really great book. I realized I hadn't backed it just last week.
Yeah, you're one of the last backers, Adam, before it closed.
The last, sometimes the best.
That's all right.
I'm so happy I slipped in under the wire, though. So what's great about The Canoe, the story is fun. It's interesting. It's very dynamic. And my God, the panel layouts. So I was actually telling Graham earlier that I love the panel layouts, and I'm really inspired by them. So, really, I have hired plenty of great artists before, but it's not me telling them the storytelling. But just to kind of look at this, it's really fantastic. So thanks again, Graham, for
thank you, Adam,
for my copy of The Canoe, man. And congratulations on your launch.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a book people are going to pick up.
I think that they already are, but we will see. Oh, hold on a second here. I'm calling up Alien Alamo here as well. I'm gonna have Alien Alamo. I'm gonna be surrounded by Alien Alamo. 200 backers at this point. We've just hit 200 backers. That's a good landmark. And I've already backed it.
Oh, excellent.
I already did. I backed it within the first hour. As soon as I knew that it was up, I went in there and I backed it myself. Adam Post, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I too joined in with the fun and backed Alien Alamo.
Oh, excellent. So
yeah,
one of the first ones this time. Excellent.
Yeah, one of the first, not one of the last. I think I'm in the top 10 there someplace. I don't know. But yeah, that was, great launch. I'm having an interesting day, doing a lot, studying a lot of writing. Really, I scanned the entire Canoe so I could use it for reference. And I'm going to be talking to my production person on Mermaids about some ideas about reformatting. I don't have anything ready to show, but a very fun day, a very exciting day. Comics related stuff. Had a cool conversation with the great Billy Tucci. So it's going good, going really good.
You know what? If the two of you were talking together, I wouldn't know which was which. Back to Graham Nolan and Alien Alamo as we refresh this. Boom. We are now at $13,305, 205 backers, and it just keeps rolling. That is Comicsgate. Hail to Comicsgate. We love every one of you. We're so pleased with the way that you support these campaigns.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, and for anyone who got got Canoe, it really is a well put together, slick package. Really nicely printed, and the design is great on it too.
I love the back cover.
Yeah, the back cover is very cool.
It's just, it pops.
I like your inside front cover too. I'm like, all right, I'm scanning that too. So in the future, you may see books that I have that have a very similar inside front cover to Graham Nolan's. Everybody just send your files to Graham Nolan. Don't do that, but at least take a look at his work and enjoy it.
Edward Hipkiss in the chat says, I'm backer 230, was about to sit and read the Canoe, but hanging with you guys instead. Well, there's always time to read the Canoe. Tonight is the night to back Alien Alamo, and so thank you for doing that.
It's an alien night.
Yeah, it really is an alien night. This is great. This is the art for the mini print here. This beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah, Gregory Wright colored that. I've used Greg on a lot of my projects, and he's really great.
Interesting color choices, very striking.
I told him to pull out his Jean Girard Blueberry books because that's the kind of color that I was going for. That Mobius / Girard look.
European graphic novel series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Rescott for $5 says, really like the Chinook, so I backed this one. It looks good.
Excellent. Thank you, Rescott. Appreciate it.
Is this going to be about the same length as the Chinook?
Yeah.
In terms of number of pages? Okay.
Yeah, if we hit that stretch goal, it starts out as 48 pages, and then it'll go to 56, and then 60. It'll be 56 pages of story with 64 pages total.
Fantastic. The Chinook was pretty big. I mean, it was a pretty thick book. It was a good read. This promises to be more of that. You're really getting into this kind of B-movie horror thing. This is your second B-movie horror comic book in a row. Is that kind of going to be the direction that you go in? Are you going to be doing sequels, or will it be a new movie every time you do a book?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because this is my publishing plan, is that I'm going to be doing spin-offs and not sequels. All of these books are interconnected together. So what happened in the Chinook is going to have a direct relationship to Alien Alamo. And in the third book, which is going to be called The Ghosts of Matacumba Key, will have a direct relationship to the Chinook as well, and Alien Alamo. So all of this stuff is connected, but they're not sequels. And each one will introduce a new person or a new set of characters, tying them into the other set of characters, and it's all going to funnel towards a big story at the end.
Very, very cool. I love that idea. So everything's interconnected. Are they ever going to
all
be
one and done, too? So, like, if you didn't buy the Chinook, you can still read Alien Alamo and enjoy it, or the next book and enjoy it. But if you get all of them, you'll see all these little Easter eggs and stuff, a part of this whole Nolan universe, if you will. And it's all going to have like horror, supernatural, science fiction. I don't want to say 50s B movie, but it's not gonna be superheroes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think you're really suited for this. I really, really like your work a lot. It's fantastic. Adrian Barrera says, any chance to get the Chinook combo with cover C?
Well, when you the Chinook combo with cover C. Well, you can add cover C as an add-on when you check out. So, like, if you'd get the cover A, and then you could with the Chinook, and then when you check out, you can add cover C to it. And there's no additional shipping charge on it. So
beautiful. Yeah, people are already calling this the Nolan verse, which is interesting. I like the idea of there being a Graham Nolan universe, and it's all horror. It's all sci-fi. Here's Andy Smith, by the way. Let's add Andy Smith to this show. See how he's doing.
What's up, Andy?
Hey, how's it going, Grant? Congratulations on such a great launch.
Thanks, pal.
You look like Michael Stipe tonight. I don't know what it is, but
it's that bright light shining down on me.
Yeah. You look like you should be singing "Losing My Religion."
It's the end of the world.
Is that the Everybody Hurts guys?
World as we know it. It's the end of the world.
Whatever happened to them? They were a good band. Did they break up?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
One of them gets sick.
Well, didn't Stipe have AIDS?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to be wrong and make that comment. Yeah. Let that be on Graham.
Why am I laughing at AIDS?
It wasn't AIDS, Graham.
Well, I mean, I thought he did. I mean, I remember he was like really anti-Reagan, and because how he felt that Reagan handled AIDS. And I just seem to remember that he had it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I think you're completely correct. I was just concerned about actually saying that and not knowing for sure. But I don't know why. People expect that sort of thing from me.
Andy Smith is perfectly healthy, though, and that's what I like.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like Graham.
Yeah.
Graham
he is
beefier me.
Andy Smith has a book, by the way, that is funding at the same time as this, but I just can't remember what it's called. Is it called First Man?
It is.
How about that?
Hey, I gave you a shout out at the launch party, Andy.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I caught like the first 10, 15 minutes. Actually, no, I think I was watching for about 20, 25, and then I had to bounce off to come in and make some lunch. So. But I was there when you kicked it off.
lunch is more important than Alien Alamo to you. Okay, that's good to know.
I have to feed the machine.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, it is true. Always have lunch and then back the comic book and promote the comic book that is about a seafood invasion. For the seafood lover and you, Alien Alamo. Let's take a look at this trailer again.
Yeah.
Where's the sound?
No audio.
No audio. Oh, whoops. I was sure that I had I'd done the right thing that time, but you know.
Now you're doing what I always do.
Oh, that's driving me crazy. I'm doing this again.
What are you doing, Andy?
He's going upside down.
Flipping my iPad all over the place.
All right, let's try this again. This time it'll work. I promise. Schemes and scams.
It's a little bit like him.
Beef. What's for dinner?
I like the way you work it, no dignity. I like to bang it up. I like the way you work it, no dignity. I like to bang it up, bang it up. All right, everyone. That's Alien Alamo, Graham Nolan, and his new comic book campaign just launched today. This is killer. It's just absolutely awesome. Make sure that you back it as we refresh this. We see that we are now $14,000, $14,000, almost $100, and we are heading towards our stretch goal of $15,000. I think we can get there.
I think so.
That's awesome. I love the Sam Elliott guy. I love that Sam Elliott guy. He's just great. I saw him and I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. That's just cool.
The other guy, the main guy, Travis, is based on John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I wanted to have him to have like a world weary face, and Krasinski, like in the Jack Ryan show.
Yeah.
He's beefed up and he's got the beard on him and stuff, and he's got those eyes, those kind of eyebrows. It always looks like he's sort of sad, and that was the look I was going for a guy who was just world weary.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, really, really, really cool. I like this kid too. He looks straight out of the 50s.
Yeah, it's got a timeless but still somehow modern look to it. The coloring helps a lot. Graham's work is so clean. It's just very cool to look at.
Well,
Yeah,
Graham, are you pulling on your time of growing up in the 50s for this?
I got something in my eye here, Andy. Excuse me.
Oh, that's hurtful. That's so hurtful. Man.
I think Graham's younger than that. Not much younger
Not
than
much.
that.
I just missed the 50s.
Yeah. Man, I would have loved to have lived through the 1950s.
Born in
That'd be
62.
cool.
I would have persecuted communists every day. I would have been, I would have been with the Senator McCarthy blacklist. I would have supported HUAC. I would have tried to be a part of HUAC. I would have joined the House of Representatives in order to persecute radicals. The Chicago 8, I would have fucked them up. I mean,
they were right, weren't they? I mean, apparently there's all sorts of communism problems going on there.
Of course they were right. Of course they were right. And, it's like we were so naive. Everybody said, oh, it couldn't be. There couldn't be communists in the government.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Nothing but.
when the Soviet Union fell and the KGB released a lot of that paper stuff, a lot of that stuff came out. It was proven, they had people over here working.
It's so true. The Rosenbergs, we heard for like decades about how the Rosenbergs were wrongly murdered or by the government. Are you kidding me?
What? Really? I guess I'm not really up on that stuff, but yeah, they were like totally traitors, weren't they? They sold like nuclear technology away.
Yeah, of course. Julius Rosenberg was working right here in Monmouth County, New Jersey at the Army base, filtering secrets about the atomic bomb. He would bring them home to his wife right here in Jersey, and she would type them up on her typewriter like a good little wife and send those secrets over to the Soviets.
Were they selling them, or was it really for
it was
ideological?
It was ideological. Julius Rosenberg, his code name was Liberal. And when they talked about him in the decrypts, the Soviet decrypts in the Venona papers, the Soviets were praising his enthusiasm. This guy was a true believer. They said he works so hard. We can't get him to shut up. He's telling us everything that he gets, selling out the army. This motherfucker. And then we put him in the electric chair, and we got this same scumbag liberals, far left wing. I don't want to say liberals, far radical left wingers that we have today existed back then, marching on the streets of New York City, handing out pamphlets talking about how the government wrongly killed the Rosenbergs. And a young man came and picked up one of those pamphlets in New York, and it changed his life. And do you know what his name was? Graham Nolan. No. His name was...
There I go.
He was like, these aliens are going to create an Alamo in our country if we don't deal with them.
That kid's name was Lee Harvey Oswald. True story. Picked up a pamphlet about how the Rosenbergs were innocent from these crazy lunatic left-wingers. And it changed his whole world. That's how he became a Marxist.
He believed they were innocent. The pamphlet was enough.
Yeah, he did a lot of research. He bought into all the propaganda. He was a young man. He was like 12, 13 years old. He was, empty-headed. Your brain is just Play-Doh at that age. It can be molded and shaped in anything. You let these animals, you let these weirdos get a hold of your kids, and that's what they want to do. By the way, that's what this entire channel is about. I had Kurt Schlichter sit there and make fun of me today. He's just like, you're worried about Star Wars. It's for kids. I'm like, yes, that's exactly right. Like, we're adults. We're already pretty much fully formed. It's hard to change our identities or our ideas about things. I mean, we're kind of set in our ways. Little children are not set in their ways. You can fuck with their entire gender identities. You can fuck with all of their belief systems. You're raising the next generation. You're warping the next generation, and you're making them retarded. And we're trying to stop you. And it starts here. It starts in comic books. It starts in Star Wars. It starts here in the pop culture. This is where kids learn. This is where kids get, their ideas from. This is how they grow. This is where it comes from. That's our responsibility. It might seem silly to some, but I think it's important. It's what I'm going to devote my life to. That's what Cyberfrog's about. That's what Alien Alamo's about. I don't know if it's what First Man is about. I think First Man is about transitioning into a female from a male slowly.
Oh, no.
The right way.
No, it isn't. Okay, cool.
No, it's not.
All right, excellent. Well, that's what it's all about.
That, Andy, get out.
That's again. This is the whole thing. I mean, you've got crazy people who are affecting our children, or changing, all of this stuff at a fundamental level.
You have to at least provide an alternative, and the alternative can't be from 1980, because then it's just too easy to say, well, that's the old way, that they were all racist back then. It's like, well, look at the new stuff. Salty Cracker was talking about this, that the YouTube guy, about how we need to create our own conservative culture with stories and comics. He cites Comicsgate. And Tim Pool was saying the same thing, that we need to create our own conservative culture. And of course we do. And it's difficult. If you support Comicsgate, you can kind of tell where our heads are at and what we're putting into our stories, what we're trying to do. But with the media, with mainstream stuff, it's hard to even tell what they're trying to accomplish. It looks like they're trying to destroy what came before. And we don't want. you just can't trust them. I mean, at this point, I would have to think twice if I had, a young child. Like, would I give that young child Spider-Man toys? Like, I don't know what they're going to do with Spider-Man next. I don't want my son to be invested in a mainstream comic book series. Actually, if you have a young child, to the extent that the youth is, the age is appropriate, whatever, you can trust Ethan and Cyberfrog. You can trust where he's going to be with it 10 years from now.
Trust me with your children.
Yeah, trust
I'm
Ethan.
Raise them right.
I
look at me. You can see how I turned out good. So let me influence your children.
Better than Spider-Man. Better than Spider-Man or whatever DC ultimately does to Batman.
Oh, it's going to be so bad, dude. It's going to be so bad. DC Comics is over with anyway. And I keep telling people and they don't believe me. And I keep telling them over and over again. And they say, what? There's still a comic book in my hand. So I guess you were wrong about DC Comics being in trouble. And it's a tough thing for me to deal with. It's a tough thing because stupidity is hard for me to cope with unless it comes from me. When it's other people's stupidity, I really don't like it. Today or yesterday in Bleeding Cool, this got announced, but I could have guessed this. Brian Michael Bendis, no longer exclusive to DC Comics. Bendis was an import. He came over from Marvel Comics because Diane Nelson wanted to impress AT&T. And so they spent all kinds of money. This is interesting from my story too, in a way, because their announcement, DC Comics announcement of Bendis coming over to DC Comics. This was going to be a game changer for DC. This was their good news that they were trying to put out in the media. The bad news was that one of their main artists, one of their contract artists, was a white supremacist, and that artist was me. And I am not a white supremacist. So it was a real problem as they're trying to announce that Bendis is coming to DC Comics. I had SJWs also filling the news cycle with these false stories about me. And that is one of the reasons why my contract was cut short at DC Comics. They knew AT&T was watching, and they really wanted to sell themselves to AT&T. It was very important that they sell themselves to AT&T. So Bendis, was important. The funny thing is that AT&T, by selling themselves to AT&T, they sealed their doom because AT&T has no interest in publishing comics, and AT&T promptly looked at all of the spending that they were doing, and they were, and said, all of these people are fired. We're not paying Brian Michael Bendis $1,000 per page on a script. We're not paying this guy this. He's not worth it. And everybody who had a high salary, and by the way, that includes me. I was getting nearly $1,000 a page to draw. Everyone that has a high salary has to go. So now the people with a low salary or people who would accept a page decrease are still working there. Bendis, they were saying all exclusive contracts were going to be cut. Bendis, I figured, would be the first one to go, and I guess as of yesterday, we know that is true. He did have to go. I will read this article. In September, Bleeding Cool reported that DC Comics was putting an end to the big-name writer-exclusive contract deals that had defined the publisher in recent years. One of those names was Brian Bendis, who came to DC from Marvel in the same fashion as Jack Kirby. By the way, I've been telling everybody all of this stuff all along, explaining how this worked. It was an exclusive deal arranged by former DC president Diane Nelson. God, the politics of this were something else. It was something else because Diane Nelson got this done, and nobody else at DC, the DO, Jeff Johns, they did not want Bendis there. It's
just so strange to me because why did they think that Bendis was going to be such a great get for DC in the first place? Was he really going to sell that many books? People going to really get that interested in the line because he was there?
Well, I think it's just a big steal from Marvel. They can go, look what we got from Marvel.
Yeah, but if you say that to an investor that's looking at the money, they would say, "Okay, good for you that you stuck it to Marvel, but how does this equal money?"
Right.
It's like that plan from the guy with Despicable Me, where he's just like pointing to the board and he's like, "Do this, do that," and then like, well, how does this equal anything good?
Well, I mean, you're going to see why this was a stupid move on Diane's part. And Diane was an idiot. All right. So, and by the way, she did this right before she got fired, almost on her way out of the publisher. So there was all kinds of conflict with this. Let's see. This is what's his name? Rich Johnson. He says, I understand that this is no longer the case, that Brian Bendis is no longer exclusive at DC Comics. He can write work for hire for any publisher, but no longer receives the prodigious page rate or benefits that were part of the generous deal that saw him move from Marvel Comics to DC back in 2018. At the time of the big deal, Bleeding Cool queried the decision, given that Bendis' fan base wasn't exactly flocking to his stupid Iron Man comic, which was Riri Williams, if you'll remember. And Marvel. So he brought his Riri Williams character over to DC, called her Teen Lantern. She was a teenage black girl who hacked into OA via her laptop computer and stole the secrets of the Green Lantern Corps. I cannot tell you how offensive this is. I swear to God, this was the story.
That's it? I never heard that. Wow.
That's like Independence Day, where they take a computer and they go up into space and they're able to lock into an alien technology on their MacBook Pro.
But that's a true story, that movie.
How do you hack into the OA's lantern? That is ridiculous.
Fuck. It makes me so angry when I hear, and her name is Teen Lantern. Should have been Yas Queen Lantern. Ridiculous. It shows right now there's a new Green Lantern comic where she's like jamming her finger into like the rib cage of one of the Guardians of the Universe. I can't take it. I can't take it. It pisses me off because I spent so long on Green Lantern, and there are so many people who come in there and sort of build off of what Jeff Johns did, and they get it wrong. They just get it wrong. And Jeff and I used to agonize over this stuff on the phone, the rules of everything, how it works. So I've yelled about Green Lantern enough. But anyway, I understand that DC not only met Marvel's contract deal, but it far exceeded it. And this was at a time when Marvel themselves were querying whether Bendis was even worth what they were paying him anymore. Civil War II had been a relative dud. He wouldn't play along with Secret Empire. Secret Empire fucking destroyed Marvel Comics. And he was at odds with Marvel Comics executives over this and that. He had quite the disagreement with David Gabriel, whose interview with Miles Greep for ICV2 regarding diversity at the publisher, which needed repeated clarifications. That was when David Gabriel came out and said, we hear you. We understand that you don't want these diverse characters. We hear you loud and clear. You must hate women. All of you retailers must hate women. You're bigots. God, that was the kickoff of Comicsgate. You know, the David Gabriel thing really kicked Comicsgate into full gear there. When retailers were saying, we can't sell this shit. And David Gabriel from Marvel comes out and says, you must hate women. You must hate black people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is happening, you know, even now. This is continuing to happen. It's happening with Star Wars right this very second. Right this second, the same phenomenon has kicked into full gear, full throttle with Star Wars. So I got to get on it. I got to be making more videos about that.
All of these franchises have been co-opted. All this great, these properties that we grew up loving and stuff have been co-opted and turned into shit. Yep. Every time they get their mitts on it, you know, there's never been an improvement. It just goes downhill. You know, people ask me, oh, is there any character at DC or Marvel that you'd like to work on? And the answer is no. I don't work on any of them. I don't recognize any of them. You know, Stan and Jack and Steve Ditko and all those guys are turning over in their graves at what these things have become.
Of course. And by the way, we'll take a quick break here and just Graham, congratulations. Your book is fully funded.
Nice.
And then some. And let's just keep going, guys. Back Alien Alamo will be here tonight. We're going to be talking about what's going on in comics. We're going to be talking about Bendis. We're going to be talking about Harry Potter. While we do that, we're going to be going back and forth and showing you our projects. Alien Alamo, we've just started. I mean, it just launched 6 hours ago. This is the first 12-hour period that we're in right now, and it's the most important period. This is where, if you guys fund it heavily enough, it will get heavy rotation and preferential treatment on Indiegogo's page. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to push to happen right now. So don't wait. Please back Alien Alamo now. Back it tonight. Back it in the first 12 hours. And then Indiegogo will spread the word. More people will see it, and more people will back it. And we love you guys. Thank you so much. This is Indie Comics.
This is important because successes like this type of stuff, the stuff we're doing, the independent comics, show the big guys that we don't need them, that it can be done, that we can produce great comics without their overreach. And it's because of you guys out there that fund this stuff that it can happen.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is one of the reasons why they're afraid of us. Understand that the reason why they are afraid of us for two reasons. They hate us for two reasons. One, political reasons. Okay, the ideologues, they hear what we're saying. They know we're right. They know we've correctly assessed what their goals are. Their secretive, phony nonsense. What they're up to. We talk about it all the time, and we make it plain and clear and obvious to people. That's one thing. The other problem is that when we come out and we say, look, we're doing this by ourselves, making hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases, everyone's able to do this on their own, independence, without having to kneel or bow or ask permission from the big corporation. No, what that does is it shows everyone else who works slavishly for the big corporations that they can do it too. And they can make more money at it than they're being paid by these big corporations. And they leave. So that's why we need to be stopped. And these two organizations, the big corporations and then the ideologues, cooperate together, and they all just call us bigots. And then they threaten people. If you pay any attention to us, if you associate with us, if you even speak our names, if you speak about Comicsgate on some of these message boards, you get banned. Mm-hmm. You got to push back against that. There is no way that is tolerable. First of all, what they say about Comicsgate is untrue. It's a lie. And second of all, you have the freedom. You have the right. You should have the freedom to read the comics that you want to read. We should have the freedom to make the comics and sell the comics that we want to make and sell. And the comic book industry should be open to people who are opposing what is going on politically in the comic book industry right now. And we are that stand. It happens here. It happens here and nowhere else. It is all about Comicsgate. So again, thank you for supporting Alien Alamo. You guys are just so fucking ferocious. I love this customer base. I love Comicsgate.
Yeah.
You guys are the best.
They are amazing.
First Man by Andy Smith.
It's going up.
Let's get it to 11. We did it.
Yes.
11,000. Congrats, Andy.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you. By the way, did you guys hear that Twitter permanently banned the MyPillow guy, Mike Lindell, today?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Listen, you got to be kidding me with that.
Can you believe that shit?
His pillows are dangerous.
Well,
I have two of them.
I have one, and it's overrated. Here's how I feel about Mike Lindell. First of all, I think he's a genius. Because what he does is his business model is great. He goes, what is something that we all use? And the answer is pillows. It's something that we all use, and all of us go, I wish my pillow was better, because we use it every single day and it affects our sleep. So this guy goes, I'm going to tell people I made a better pillow. You make a better pillow, you're going to make $1 billion, which is what he did. And then he said, I have towels that actually work, because the towels that you have don't pick up water. It's not true. It's kind of true. You think it might be true. He's like, my towels are absorbent. These towels aren't. Another $1 billion. The guy's a genius. And that's the key to everything. You don't come up with something obscure that's only for some people. You go, what is something that all of us use and interact with every day and take for granted, and we're slightly disappointed with it?
Yeah, he did sheets too.
Yep, he's got sheets.
Yeah, sheets.
Yeah, he's got sheets.
And he may run for governor of Minnesota, supposedly.
Well, he is off of Twitter, so I don't know if that's going to happen now. He has been canceled for sticking by Trump, and I understand that. It's like Trump is your friend and stuff like that, but dude, settle down.
I saw him in an interview, and there are like chain stores that he was selling through that cut him off, but he also did say that sticking by Trump has actually boomed his business, because he's gotten a lot of Trump supporters, I guess, who they want to buy pillows because they want to support him. So it's kind of like the fight has also helped his business. So
I agree.
He's pretty sharp. He knows. I guess he knows what he's doing. I mean, I'm surprised Twitter kept him on as long as they did, because he was.
I can't stand that they even do that. I think it's such a bad precedent to do that, and it pisses me off On the one hand, Trump's not going to be president. Let that go. Okay, and just let it go. 2024 is another day. We got to actually get through this impeachment thing and hope that he's still able to run.
They won't.
You think they will or they won't? They won't impeach him?
They won't.
It looks like they won't. There was a vote today. Rand Paul called a point of order to try to claim that their new process for impeachment in the Senate was unconstitutional. 55 people voted that Rand Paul was wrong. 45 voted. 45 voted he was right, which means they only got 5 Republicans. So they need 2/3 to impeach Trump. And if they can't even get people to say, like, well, they all agree that it's plenty constitutional to go forward with this, then that means it would be very unlikely that they would be successful with an impeachment trial.
This is all about fear. This is all about them afraid that he'll come back in 2024. He'll build up his base at that time. He'll come back. This is the only way they can ensure that he can't, is that for him to impeach.
Discredit the guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, they keep talking about how, look, we're 80 million versus your 76 million or whatever it was. What was the election margin? Was it 80 million to 70
it was like 80
something?
to 75,
75, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it took them 6 months to get that extra 4 million voters. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't do that. Like, Republicans all voted on election day. It's like, so 75 or 76 million Republicans showed up on the day. They had to sit there and scrape together these extra voters, an extra fewer than 10%.
But as we get into discussing the vote from the last election, it does harken back to YouTube really doesn't like that. now that we're thinking about it, and but they're cool with aliens and Alamos.
YouTube is fine with this kind of discussion. YouTube is not fine with the discussion of let's go to the Capitol.
Okay,
and let's really show them what we're made of.
Gotcha.
This kind of discussion is just fine. I mean, that's the problem. Or false information,
right?
Like Trump flipped Florida, or
Florida, like Florida. Yeah, Doug did a video like a long time ago.
Mike Lindell flipped Arizona. I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he did.
Don't let us know if that happens. If that happens, you're not going to hear about it from us or Doug first. You'll hear it someplace else.
How dare the right protest, says Blarville. Exactly. We all went through the guys. It's total bullshit. All of this is bullshit. It is unfair. It's ridiculous. It's hypocrisy of the highest order. It's maddening. It's absolutely insane. We all agree with that.
The NFL reviews stupid football plays over and over and over, and yet we're out of our minds to actually review an election, because here we are with a guy that was disliked by a lot of people in Congress. He didn't campaign. He did it from his basement, and he was going up against a guy who was pulling in 50, 60, 70,000 people at these rallies. Now, all of a sudden, this guy in his basement is able to garner more votes than his popular boss. Say what you will about Obama, the man was popular.
Mm-hmm.
And Biden, from his basement, can garner more votes than him.
All of this was about Trump, though. It was about voted against Trump. We didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump.
Absolutely.
That's what that enthusiasm was. I mean, when you say this guy's the most popular, no. I think most people go, this guy is senile. He's not long for this world. I think he's a very old man. He's not looking good. Kamala Harris might be our president, I'd say, within 2 years, and all of that stuff. But at least we got rid of Trump. We got to get rid of Trump. Goodness sakes. So that's what that was. That was all negative enthusiasm. These last 4 years were absolutely insane. I will never forget them as long as I live. Mm-hmm. I do not agree with people who say that we will never win an election again. I don't think that's true. I think Republicans will win again. And I think also that just like this showed, it's not even what a president does in his term that, makes his presidency. It's circumstances. It's a war can make a president popular or unpopular, something that he's not in control of. And this pandemic is what did Trump in. I mean, in just 6 different ways, this is what did him in, because everything was great. Everything was going great.
Yeah, people vote with their wallets, and when the economy is down, that's a huge key in how they vote. And we were roaring in February, and then by April, we're right into the crapper.
Yeah.
At that point, you can't send your kids to school or go to a restaurant. That's a pretty severe problem.
Yeah, and then you've got small business closing down and being.
How do they tax these people? Where are they going to get tax money from? You got to open up these businesses. One thing about Democrats is they like to tax and spend. So they need to tax the bejesus out of all these businesses that are closed down. You better believe they're going to open up again, and quick. They need to.
They have to. A lot of them are closed.
How are they going to tax Brian Michael Bendis when his contract is up at DC Comics? That is what I want to know. Brian Michael Bendis, again, he used to sell lots. Ultimate Spider-Man was a monster. His Avengers and X-Men runs did very well, but much of his later work, the creation of Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Riri Williams, Ironheart, would only be fully appreciated after he left Marvel, courtesy of their appearances in movies and TV shows. And appear to have proved Brian Bendis right on this matter. That is bullshit. It's ridiculous. I just want to say, hey, he didn't become less popular because he became really, really strange and became obsessed with diversity and all this stuff. But the Marvel Comics Creative Committee, of which he played a strong part, no longer influenced the films. Bendis wrote the first Marvel post-credit scene with Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury and Iron Man. No longer part of the mix, and aside from the then off-limits Fantastic Four, he had written for every Marvel creation that had interested him. This is interesting here. DC Comics offered Bendis a spot at their film's multimedia table, working alongside Jeff Johns. Shit, Jeff must have been like, "What the fuck?" Like, no way. Something denied him by Kevin Feige at Marvel. See, all of these pieces are going together now. They're starting to fit together. So Diane Nelson is sitting there saying, Bendis can come over here and you can work alongside Jeff Johns. And Jeff Johns probably said to Diane, what the fuck? No, I don't want to work alongside Bendis. This is my domain. And later, Diane Nelson says, Jeff Johns is no friend of mine, publicly. You can see why these problems arose.
She said that while she was working for the company?
No, she said that last year.
Okay.
Having been fired, someone said, hey, look what your pal Jeff Johns is doing with, whatever, the Justice League Snyder cut.
Yeah.
And Ray Fisher.
Cards, Ethan?
What?
Do you remember her Christmas cards?
Yeah.
No.
They were a little odd.
Wait, her personal Christmas cards?
Yeah, well, she would send them out to anybody that was under contract at DC, or there's like usually pictures of her with her family and stuff.
Oh, I got a couple of those. Yeah,
they were very personal looking, and some of them were just the way she was dressed and stuff was they were just weird looking. It's like, as an executive, sending out a Christmas card like that just didn't seem
like you're part of her family, right. You think it sounds
like
nice, but it's weird.
Boundaries or something.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. No, Mr. Dong says Dan DiDio deserved to be canned for hiring Bendis alone. Dan DiDio didn't want to. This is what I'm trying to put across to you. Diane Nelson was Dan DiDio's boss, and Diane Nelson foisted Bendis on them. They did not want Bendis there. They didn't want him there. But they thought this was going to be the thing that appeased AT&T, made them look sharp to AT&T. And AT&T, again, this is so sad. AT&T didn't give a shit. From the very start, AT&T assessed Time Warner and said, we don't want to be publishing comic books. They said that from the very, very start. And so it didn't matter what they did. So they ended up spending a whole lot of money on Bendis, making some terrible comics. Diane Nelson lost her job. Bendis just lost his contract, and DC Comics is folding up. So Bendis wanted Superman. So much so that the critically acclaimed creative team of Gleason and Tomasi, these guys were getting fucked over left and right. Pete Tomasi and Pat Gleason, dynamite creative team, so unappreciated. Constantly being fucked over for the new hot thing, whatever it was. Tomasi and Gleason doing Superman and Batman, and everyone loves it. But then all of a sudden, some jackass superstar wants to take over, and so they get pushed over. Then that guy fails, and then Tomasi and Gleason come back. It's like Dan Jurgens, same thing.
Oh, his work is gone.
I mean, no, Dan Jurgens is like a dependable, really, really good writer artist who it's like, put him on Superman and just leave him there. No. Bendis wants it. All right. Bendis was, however, able to bring along a number of other talents with him. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Bendis brought Kelly Sue DeConnick to kill Aquaman. Kelly Sue DeConnick came because of Bendis. And suddenly this happens.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. White boys, comic book reader. Don't buy my book. Don't buy my book. I literally can't even think. We can have a little conference on that. Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Comic book reader. Comic book reader. May I curse? White boys, don't read them.
I have an important message for you. You did it. I'm super proud of you. Yay! You did it! Yay!
There is nothing inherently masculine of heroism. There's nothing inherently masculine heroism. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. Magic!
Yay! Yay! You did it! Yay! Indisputable truth.
So, nope.
Thank you, Bendis. Killing Aquaman with this woman.
God, that video kills me. Every time you play that, I crack up at the same time. I just can't believe it's real. I'm like, this is
real.
A real video. This is amazing.
I mean, it's a little comic book industry where you're lucky, you're hopeful, you want people to have a good time. You want them to come in and read your comics, and the fans, the customers are always right. If they don't like your comic, they're right. For whatever reason, they're right.
That's it.
And to sit there and yell at them and to berate them and to make fun of them and demean them, it's it's something else. I know. I keep having to share that video.
Business model. She says, "Don't buy my book." Well, nobody's buying it now, and now you're giving them permission to not buy it. That's a great idea for a business model.
Yeah. Rather than listen to their complaints,
right.
How about if you shut up and just don't buy my book? And I will continue to let this. I mean, it's okay if it's your own thing, I guess. But you're sitting there, you're talking like this, and you're representing Aquaman. You're representing DC Comics in some way. Oh wow, we got a special treat, Literature Devil. How are you?
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello,
dude. It's great to have you on my show. It's an honor. How are you?
Oh, fantastic! Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Lit Dev, because tonight is a very special night. Tonight is the night we're launching Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo.
You saw reviews of this? It looks fantastic. What a wonderful idea. I like this idea because the Alamo is one of the greatest stories in American history. Well,
exactly.
Eventually became American history. But America is the great melting pot, and it adopted Texas culture very, very well, and it adopted Texas stories very, very well. So Alien Alamo, that sounds like an awesome thing. I definitely want to get this. I'm going to back pretty soon.
Excellent.
Yeah, everyone should back Alien Alamo. We're very close to 16,000 now. The book is fully funded. It was fully funded in about 6 hours. Look, this is a great looking comic. This is the featured tier right here, the Alien Alamo 3-pack, 3 different variant covers, one by Graham. one by the great Aaron Lopresti, and one by the fantastic Butch Geiss, Jackson Geiss. Right here. This will be colored and inked and everything like that pretty soon. He's still working on the cover. Butch Geiss is extremely detailed, as we all know, and his stuff is just phenomenal.
I like his Sam Elliott character. I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Looks really cool.
Everybody loves the Sam Elliott character.
The dude.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Beef. It's what's
Oh, there we go. There's a Blue Moon again. Fantastic. I like that one. It's my favorite perk.
Is that what you drink? Blue Moon? You want a Blue
That's
Moon?
that's what I drink on hot summer days when I'm down in the tropics.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Right now, I'm drinking Chinook Brew, the Imperial Stout.
Chinook Brew?
Yeah,
I'm jealous about that one. I need to get a beer from my comic book.
Did you make your own beer?
No, I paired with a local brewery, and they made this Imperial Stout, and I designed the cans for it. I was drinking it on my launch show this morning.
Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, somebody offered to make Blood Honey Ale for me, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to. Andrew and I are talking about getting into bourbon.
I love bourbon.
Yeah.
Bourbon and cigars.
Bourbon and cigars. Oh, dude, come on over. Let's just when it gets
we
warmer.
need to hang. That would be fun.
Yeah, I would really like that. Gojirify says, will there be a Meg or a Q tier? Meg or Q tier? Probably not. Different guy entirely.
You need a Cyberfrog cigar. It's so Cigar Frog.
Flicks by Cody says, Kelly Sue, whatever her name is, looks like a dear friend of mine. I don't like it. Oh, that's gotta be uncomfortable.
Kelly Sue DeConnerick. Don't like my politics. Don't buy my book. Well, wish granted. No one bought your book.
And I don't like your politics. I find them noisy and confrontational and irritating. Raging Golden Eagle says Blood Honey would be a good mead.
It would. That Blood Honey,
yeah,
Cyberfrog Blood Honey mead. That'd be good.
If you like mead.
So here's a question: should we do For the Fans Fest? Should we do it this year?
That thing in Orlando?
Yeah. I mean, I'm hesitant because I don't know how things are going to be. I don't want us walking around with masks. I personally don't want to wear a mask.
I hear that.
But
there's the travel aspect that bothers me. I don't want to fly if I got to wear a mask.
No,
I just don't.
Yeah.
And coming back into New York, my emperor has the National Guard here, at the airport, so that when you come through, they'll ask you to fill out these forms so that they can contact trace you. So
Papers,
I was there picking up my daughter at Christmas time, and I'm standing there, and the National Guard's got a table there, and a bunch of them standing there with clipboards, and they're all decked out in their camos and everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm steaming. I'm really getting pissed because of these guys. They're doing this to intimidate people into signing these forms and stuff. So I walked over to the head guy over there and I said, I know you're between a rock and a hard place because the governor wants you to, do this stuff, and that's not what you're here for. But you realize that as a military organization, you have no authority over a civilian population, right? And he said, he looks at me and he's like, shit, I've been caught. He goes, yeah, I know. And I said, so what are you going to do when somebody walks right on by? He says, well, there's really nothing we can do, So that's the answer.
It was just intimidation.
It's just intimidation to get people to sign that stuff for contact tracing.
Unbelievable.
Excuse me, sir. What level citizen are you? Are you a gold level citizen? Have you been vaccinated? Are you a citizen or a non-citizen? Which one are you?
Well, that's going to be the next thing. Is that you're going to have to show proof if you want to travel that you've been inoculated. That's my guess. Is that at some point you're going to have a travel pass that shows that you've been inoculated.
Judging by these people work, I'm pretty sure it's going to evolve past that. Like, I can't wait for these. And like, okay, well, we have everything set. You can rent our apartment. Just need to show you proof of vaccination, please. Oh, you haven't been vaccinated. Well, I can't rent to you then, unfortunately. I can't hire you, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, you haven't been vaccinated. You can't bank here, unfortunately. We're going to have to close down your bank account.
Oh, you want a driver's license?
I think you've been vaccinated, unfortunately. I bet you they're going to have like a little thing on the driver's license eventually, like vaccinated, yes or no.
Oh, right.
Like you know, on the back on your card, it has the heart to tell you that you're a donor. It's probably gonna have like a needle or something on the back, tells you you've been vaccinated or not.
I just don't see the point of being vaccinated. I don't get it. The virus is going to mutate, right? I mean, what is this one vaccine going to do? Are we going to be vaccinated 3-4 times a year? Every time
they don't even know how long it lasts. They're thinking maybe 3 months.
I'm saying this. I know that Kyle Ritter had COVID-19 in January of 2020. I know that he did because he was extremely sick. And he said the doctors don't know what this is. They're saying it's acting like pneumonia, but it is awful. And Kyle had to be hospitalized for it. And we still, I was like, is this pneumonia? Like, what is going on? And then Kyle has it again. Kyle was just, I don't know what he's doing. Like, is Kyle hanging out in Wuhan behind my back? Like, I don't know what he's up to. But he's got it again.
Is he a healthy guy?
Is he licking toilet seats? What's he doing?
I don't know. He's not really a healthy guy. He vapes constantly.
Okay.
I mean, this guy vapes like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. He's always it's ridiculous. But even still, I don't understand how you get COVID.
I don't know how much he's out there socializing in the world. Like, who is he connecting
That's what
to?
I'm saying. He's a deaf mute.
Because he works like 18 hours a day, coloring like a madman.
He needs to be in the house. And this is what I'm telling him. I'm like, Kyle, stay home and color Cyberfrog. Whatever your social life is, what are you, a discotheque? Knock it off. Stay home.
Stop ravaging your lungs. Also, that I heard COVID really, it's really bad for men because it nukes your nuts and it makes you, could possibly makes you infertile. So stay away from that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you hadn't heard about it. I don't know that it's, well, you have to do your own research. We can't give you scientific advice, but yeah, there's a lot of articles and places talking about how the vaccine that they're giving out is going to make you sterile or a lot less fertile as a man.
But the viruses. I talked with I have a pharmacist friend, and he told me about a lot of inside. Well, it's not inside stuff; it's public knowledge. But the vaccine itself seems pretty safe, and because I know I asked him because wait a minute, doesn't it take like 10 years for a vaccine to come out? He said, well, it took 9 months this time because usually the 10-year time frame is because no one actually funds vaccines. Because the pharmaceutical companies only make money if you're sick, and if people are healthy because of vaccines, they don't make any money, so they don't usually fund vaccines. But it was fully funded thanks to Trump's Operation Warp Speed, which is why it came out in 9 months.
Right.
So and it was they also had there's some articles out there that said this has been in development for 20 years coming out now, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, it kind of has been because there are other strains of COVID out there. And what they did with this one is take that research and development already and then just move it to COVID-19. And then kind of like how they make a news flu shot every year, it's kind of like that. They just kind of move the science already there and then move to COVID-19. It's kind of like manipulated so it can target that one thing. And also he said that they don't even add in the virus in these vaccines anymore. What he described it as, it was more or less like instead of putting in a weakened version of the bad guy so that your body can beat it up, they put in like wanted posters so that your body knows what it looks like without actually putting you at risk with the COVID virus. So it seemed pretty safe. I'm not telling you get it or don't get it. I'm just telling you what my pharmacist friend told me.
Yeah, my wife works for a doctor, and my one of my best friends is a pharmacist too, and they're saying that that this thing developed so fast because, as usual, the government red tape was removed. That's what slows everything down. Now we don't have any long-term testing on it because that takes time. So we don't know if there's going to be any issues down the road. Let's say for women that are of childbearing years. Remember the government told us thalidomide was fine. It was for what it was supposed to be doing. And they still use thalidomide today, but they don't use it for nauseousness in pregnant women, which is what caused all the birth defects. So,
that really worries me in that, when it comes to developing this kind of stuff or anything when they do medicines, there's always a percentage of a percentage. And there are medical mistakes. A lot of people die from accidents in hospitals and such. So you know they'll always say they're sorry, and they'll be like, "Hey, sorry about that." It's like, well,
oh, we're sorry. We're
that's
so
not good.
sorry.
That's not okay. That's why you guys make me nervous, because you'll say you're sorry, but now look what you've done. Like, well, we're doing the best we can over here, and you can't dispute that. But we should all be, obviously skeptical and get our own information, do our own research. But yeah, that old, hey, sorry, I forgot to tell you kind of deal. There's a friend of mine whose wife was had seizures for years, and then he went to a new neurologist, and they're like, "Oh, she's not really having seizures. She's having a this and such or whatever that sounds like a seizure. He's like, she just needs a shot every month, whatever." She had like an immediate improvement. So it's like, what is going on? I don't know with this medical stuff. I really don't know. But it's always cool to see other people take a chance first, and then you be able to go and be like, "All right, well, it looks like very few people are dying, so there you go. It's numbers. It works."
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna see the attitude change about all of this. Eric McIntyre says Ethan's head looks like a thumb. Look at it.
A thumb with a hat?
Hold on.
A little bit. A thumb with a beard with a hat.
He's trying.
It does. Compare.
And he says that with love, because that's Eric McIntyre. He's been around.
Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. All right. So in any case, Harry Potter. And we'll talk about that in a second. We always have subject matter, Graham. So I need to be yelling about things.
Well, speaking of subject matter, Literature Devil, are you still funding your project?
Yes.
I don't want to say it wrong. Please tell me the name.
Dr. Alpha Miracle Child. It's still funding. I hired an additional artist so we can go faster. But we're getting it's a hefty book. It's 112 pages for the main story alone. So it's a hefty book. Plus it has extra stories in there. So it's going to be around 150 pages estimated when everything's said and done. So it's taking a little while longer than I thought it would, but it's going pretty well.
Yeah, it sounds like it's good. I know you've got a lot of. We've talked a bit about your project before. I can't always remember the name of the title, but it is on Indiegogo, and people can go check it out. Very cool.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Tonight we are also mostly promoting Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. This just got launched today, Lit Dev, and it's already setting Indiegogo on fire. I mean, not literally setting Indiegogo on fire. Don't worry, guys.
It's on fire like a small business.
We're not.
I think there's sparks at least. It's going great though.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a fire, but it's not a literal fire or anything like that. $16,430 with 253 backers. Not bad at all. It's 7 p.m., so we're 7 hours into this, and I think we're going to keep going. Let's get this thing to 20 tonight. I just feel like we can do it.
Yeah, as soon as people see it's around.
Yeah. Let me play this trailer again. Everybody back Alien Alamo.
Movie you want to see.
But never meant that much to me.
Here comes my favorite part.
United States of America's lit up there. I love it.
The thing from another world burned through. That's my favorite.
Yes, everyone. Alien Alamo, the new project from Graham Nolan. I hope all of you got the Shanu. If not, it is still available here. You can still get the Shanu in a 2-pack with Alien Alamo. I recommend that you do that, actually. This tier here, Alien Alamo and the Shanu. But most people did get the Shanu and have read it, like it, want some more. Here's some more of that, but different. As Graham Nolan continues the Nolan verse. which is largely made up of a lot of B-movie horror stories, but they're going to be interconnected. Do you want to explain that again, Graham?
Yeah, I decided that as a publishing plan, I didn't want to do sequels. I think that you get bored after a while, after spending 8 months on a project or so. You're ready for something new. So I want to do one and done stories that interconnect. So they're more spin-offs than they are sequels. So Alien Alamo will have a direct connection to the Chinook. And the third book, The Ghosts of Matacumba Key, will have a connection to Alien Alamo and the Chinook. And so all these interconnected stories are all interconnected, and they're all going to move towards a focal point.
Very nice.
So you can buy one and enjoy it as a self-contained story with a beginning, a middle, and end. But if you get them all and keep following them, you'll see all the Easter eggs and all the stuff that's crossing over. I even mentioned in the Chinook, I even brought Joe Frankenstein into it because I mentioned I gave a little shout out in the dialogue to Joe Frankenstein in that book. So I'm tying that into all this creator-owned stuff. Monster Island, same thing. There'll be references to that, so that it's all within the same weird world that there's horror and science fiction and ghosts and all that kind of stuff.
Welcome, Charlie's London.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Hey, Charlie.
We're good. We're ushering in the granola universe, and I don't know if this ever occurred to Graham. But has anybody ever called you granola before?
No, nobody has, and they better not.
That's fucking ingenious.
Never more than twice.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Granola. That's pretty funny.
That's wow. I just saw that and my eyes went, that's branding right there. You know, it's a little bit like, when Ben Affleck married that woman whose name was Anna something, and they went around calling themselves Banana, It's just good branding out there. I like the granola verse a little bit, even though you're hardly a granola type of guy.
I'm anti-granola.
Yeah, me too.
Anti-soy as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't wait to see Alien Santa Ana. That'd be pretty cool. I want to invading from Alien Mexico. It's gonna be fantastic.
Where is Malin and Cecil? Says Spectrum Ball. These guys are night owls. Of late, I'm going to bed with my family. It's actually really nice. Like 10 o'clock rolls around and I'm in bed with my wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what life is supposed to be like. So I'm doing my live streams a little bit earlier, to get stuff done, let people know about these comics. I don't know. Cecil makes fun of me. He's calling me an old man. He's like, old man hours.
Yeah, but you're up early too, because I've messaged you at and I've gotten stuff from you at 5 in the morning. Because that's when I'm up too. My alarm goes up. I'm up at 5 o'clock, ready to go start my day. So that 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, I'm wiped out. I've been working all day. My eyes are shot. We get on these streams, and I'm like, oh, I'm dying.
I worry that the granola verse has caught on.
It's got some momentum.
I was happy to come and support Graham, because when I did my opening on your channel, Ethan, Graham was here as well. So I thought it was nice to just return the favor and come and support a great book, which I am a backer of. I back today. So
yes, you are, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate it too. Let me go through and show you guys the campaigns that I'm talking about right now. These are kind of newer campaigns, and then my campaigns, because I promote my campaigns no matter how old they are. Rainbow the Brute, 2 days left. I'm not even talking about it. 2 days left. Rainbow the Brute is going to end its funding period, and thank you guys for backing it. You guys are aware. I'm working on all of the things for this campaign, but I'm working on Cyberfrog, Wrecked Planet, and Warts and All first. Get this stuff out on the on the assembly line out to you guys. Today we signed the lease for our office, for our warehouse office.
Congratulations!
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Andrea goes, we can get all this shit out of our garage. I'm like, she's like, we can use the garage as a gym now. It's going to be clean.
That's such a woman's answer. It really, really. It doesn't matter how beautiful the stuff is. If it's not hers and it's in the way, then it's shit. Like that is every woman on the planet. I do the same thing to Jan. Some of his beautiful pieces of artwork. I'm like, is that staying there? And he's like, no, I'll do it. Like.
Yeah, she's like, we have a lot of Cyberfrog boxes of stuff, you know, and then like boxes of boxes, you know, like Gemini mailers and stuff. And she's like, all of that stuff can go to our new warehouse, and our house can be less of a business place and more of a home. That sounds great to me. That's worth it. So we're getting ready to begin shipping warts and all. The books look great. I just got videos of the edges of the executive hardcovers being gilded. Those executive hardcovers are going to have little ribbon bookmarks in them.
Nice.
I should have leather bound them like the Holy Bible. Like I want to make them leather and flexible like the Holy Bible.
Well, it gets you closer to starting that religion for the cult.
Yeah. I just think it's like, you know, it's like the comics that I did when I was a teenager, and so it's like it's not very good, and so I go, because it's not very good, I wanted to have the greatest presentation ever. I said I want this stuff to be presented as though the Dead Sea Scrolls are going on display for the first time. Like I want this, you know, warts and all, to be the most beautiful book imaginable on the
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show that off.
I think that's a video people want to see when you have it handy.
What?
It sounds interesting, like the ribbons.
Oh yeah. Well, I keep getting these little ribbons and stuff. I post them on Twitter. I mean, I keep getting these videos. I post them on Twitter as I get them. So, you know, take a look at that. Wrecked Planet is still doing great. Thank you guys. I'm watching this closely. Oh, we just hit 10,500 backers.
Wow.
And the number of the beast.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. You summoned me.
We got Litdev because the beast. Thank you, Litdev. Thanks for being here.
I backed Wreck Planet. I backed what was it called? The Rainbow Brood. I backed that one twice. I got 2 different perks. So I came in for that one to come out. That was right up my alley. There's a barbarian goes in there and destroys soy boys. That's perfect. I love it.
That's what it's all about.
That one sounds like a blast.
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to come out around Christmas time. And I have yet begun. I've only just begun to make things for that campaign and to come up with ideas for that campaign. There will be all kinds of goofballness, extra perks and things that I'm going to be adding to it. Smelly erasers and then satin stickers and just all kinds of like completely gay stuff.
For Rainbow Root, can we have an eraser that smells like whiskey? Yes. An eraser that smells like whiskey. That'd be awesome.
Yes, that's what the plan is. The plan is to take all the stuff that girls liked in the 80s and then restructure it for men. So I'm working on that.
If you get a eraser that smells like an freshly opened IPA, I would get 10 of those things.
Yes. We'll make it happen.
I can dig that.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can make things. That's what I love about this. We can just make whatever we want to make. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. This is Matt Martin's book, and I'm publishing it. It is an awesome book about a Native American soul who was taking revenge on these evil Caucasian colonizers and doing it in the most vicious way possible. The art is absolutely brilliant. It's amazing. Make sure to back this. Matt Martin. Oh, I've known this guy since my early indie days at Hall of Heroes. He was the guy that kind of told the publisher of Hall of Heroes that Cyberfrog was worth it. And he was wrong, but I mean, he's Cyberfrog's good now, so that's good. So make sure to back Snowman, and thank you if you have already. Charlie's London, from East Lane to the Limelight. Charlie's, your campaign's getting a little bit of attention now. 44,000. It just jumped up again.
44,000. I thought nobody wanted this comic. What happened?
Yeah, we're getting slightly closer to the 45K stretch goal, which is going to be all my backers are going to get the book again, but it's going to be a silent version. So it's going to have intertitle pages, and it's going to have all the book is going to be in black and white with a slight flicker on each page to make it look like a proper silent film. And I'm in the process of getting, which I think a couple of you guys will like this, for the very, very final day when I shut the campaign, 24 hours before I launch the mailing list for the new one, there's gonna be another something on there, which is going to be a flick book. So it's going to be some drawn art from the campaign, but it's going to be a flick book, like the old-fashioned book. So you literally just flick it and he walks across the page.
Oh, so for motion, like animation. Yeah. That's very cool.
So that's the sort of thing that I'm working on for it.
Cool. Yeah. I can't wait for this book to come out because it looks beautiful. I'm not a huge Charlie Chaplin fan. I mean, I like his movies and everything. I like Harold Lloyd was the silent guy that I really liked, but this book just looks gorgeous. I can't wait to see it.
Well, I learned something new the other day when I was doing a bit of a research for a video I put on my channel. But obviously, like we know, Ethan's been looking up a lot of stuff on Fatty Arbuckle lately. Well, I didn't know. I mean, I knew that he and Chaplin worked together on loads of stuff, but I didn't realise that when Chaplin first had the idea for the kid, he went to cast Jackie Coogan, and someone said, no, Jackie Coogan's just signed with Arbuckle, and he was like, he's just signed with Arbuckle, oh my god. And then they realized that no, it wasn't Jackie Coogan Jr., it was Jack Coogan Sr. had signed with Arbuckle. So he signed with Arbuckle, and he thought he'd lost the chance of working with Jackie Coogan, but he wasn't. He actually still managed to get him working on the film. So
we wouldn't have had the kid otherwise, which is very important movie.
Some of the imagery in these silent films are unbelievable. I once read a story where Stan Lee used to tell new artists to study silent film because he's trying to get them to over-emote the characters, because you're dealing with two-dimensional drawings and the nuances just aren't there when you're trying to convey certain emotions. So Stan said, watch these silent films, because they act for the back row, so to speak. And once I read that and I started watching silent films, I could see exactly what he was talking about, because it was all about that kind of expression in emoting the faces. We laugh at it now when we see it, but if you freeze frame that stuff, that's a panel from a comic right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the scene that always gets me in The Kid, and I still to this day don't know how they got a 5-year-old to do this, is when he's in the back of the car and he's got his arms out and he's literally going, I want my daddy. Like, you can see him mouthing the words, I want my daddy. And I think you guys said it on a stream before where you said, like, he's a father trying to do right. He's a single father. I mean, this was something that was really unheard of in the 1920s. And it's a strong male character for your son to grow up with. The story hasn't changed. It's still something that is important now. And I think that it's another reason why he resonates so much with me, because his story isn't dead and in the past. It's something that's still very much relevant today, right down to cancel culture.
Yeah, single fatherhood was played for laughs in The Kid. Like, he was like to do chores that the mother would traditionally do. He invented all kinds of gadgetry, innovation, which is what men do in order to take care of tasks like changing a diaper and things like that. Just awesome. Remember how he kind of set up his whole the room that he was staying in with like ropes and wires and pulleys in order to get things done. Just a good movie, good message, good heart, and we love Charlie Chaplin. I'm a big fan. Not as big as Charlie's London is here, but still a big fan. So happy to see this. It looks like we're going to get this to 45, and then we'll get it on to 50. We'll get it to 50,000. I'm sure of it. We just have to.
How many days are left on it? I can't see the screen.
It's in demand.
Yeah, it's in demand.
Okay. It's done still massively well when it's been in demand as well, and people contact me every day about asking me about the different perks and stuff, and then they back it, and it's really, really good. And it's another thing that's great about Comicsgate is the fact that you've got that you're in touch with your customers that way.
Apparently not only is it in demand, it's in high demand.
Yes, indeed. You better believe it. Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. This is the book that we launched today, and this is the main reason why we are gathered here promoting a new campaign. $17,300 for Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo.
Whoa,
that's a good 7-hour run there.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Let's watch the video again. For those people who are new here, we got 1,000 people watching now. First of all, please click that thumbs up. Doesn't take any time, and it really helps the channel, even because we're shadow banned. Like, people can't see that we're live right now, I don't think.
Is that right?
I think that's true. I think we're shadow banned. I heard it from a few people. As soon as we started talking about Trump, they shadow ban you.
That's a no-no.
They don't want people to hear you. I mean, they want to erase his existence. That's the whole thing. All right, let's watch this video. For those of you who are new here, this is the book we're promoting tonight.
Got to give a shout out to Nick Grosh, who did that video for me, and who also did my Shanu video.
It's a great video.
It's really good. It's a minute and 20 seconds long, and I'm never bored. You know what I mean? Like, most people do these videos, and I'm just like, I can't wait for this to end. I'm like enjoying it, the scenery, the music.
Yeah, I dig that driving music too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the animation effects are good.
I really, really like that. You could actually play that one and the Snowman trailer back to back, and they would work really, really well.
Yeah, I like those 30-second videos that you've been doing lately, Ethan.
From All Caps Comics, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. The victim of a genocidal massacre has somehow returned from the dead and is carving a path of death across the heart of America. Driven by the echoes of silent screams, this is the story of a man once known as Black Dog, the one now forever known as the Snowman. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, back it today, only on Indiegogo. Yeah, I like that song a lot. I do like that song. It's great. All right, so Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. Make sure that you back this tonight, guys. Let's get these numbers up there. 17,500. We're just 2,500 away from that 20,000.
I just backed it, so there's one more.
Oh, cool. Thank you, sir.
That's good. Let me look down here and see the stretch goals first. Here's the mini print that you did. It's beautiful. This is Butch Geiss's variant cover pencils. This isn't finished yet, but it will be. This is Aaron Lopresti, Wonder Woman artist. That's where I always know Aaron from. He drew Wonder Woman. All right, so $15,000 collectible trading card is unlocked. This is a lie. It is unlocked. It says locked, but that's not true. We've unlocked it together. So congratulations to you guys. We are $2,500 away and counting from a bookmark at 20K. And then once we get to 25, we're going to get full color interior art. At 30K, 8 more pages of added story content. Did those pages have nudity on them? Or
No nudity.
No. 40K upgraded covers, all versions to cardstock with matte finish. Upgraded cover version A to matte finish with spot varnish. That looked really good on the Chanel.
Yeah.
60K Alien Alamo sticker for everyone. 70K all version A covers will be signed by Graham Nolan. Woo! That's locked too, but we'll get there. We will get to all of these. We're going to unlock all of these puzzles, all of these goals with Alien Alamo. Hold on a second. Let me see.
I just unlocked it, so now it should read right. Unlocked. There we go.
Just launched, and it's already 17,000. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty good. John Malin, welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, John.
All right.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, John?
For John, we're promoting Alien Alamo tonight and a bunch of other campaigns, including 499 Book 1 by our pal Zach and our pal Narwhal.
Yeah. You and I are the only ones that actually named this book correctly. Zach and Narwhal both have variations of like 499 and 499 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's 499 because no one ever says I did 499 push-ups.
You just needed the context. I mean, the whole idea is, it's like I'm only going to do 499 push-ups today. And then you know how to say the book because that's what the story's about.
Right.
Sometimes I just feel like doing 499 push-ups and calling it a day. So is he saying I only want to do 499 instead of 500? I want to do less than what I'm supposed to do?
He doesn't want to go all the way.
Yeah. That's what I figured. So 499 Book 1, the graphic novel, did very, very well. 66,000. It's in demand right now. And make sure that you take a look at it. Consider supporting it. She Haikyo by the great Billy Tucci, who interviewed Roy Thomas last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tonight at 8:30, Fragaboom is going to interview him.
Roy the boy making the rounds.
No, I'm seeing all these numbers. I just remember this tweet I saw the other day where the weirdos are like out there saying, "I thought Comicsgate was dead. I thought they'd all gone away by now." It's like, and I got blocked by one because I said, "Comicsgate did like what 5 million in 2020." And while DC and Marvel, by the way, the fat best friends of CG, because CG stands next to DC and Marvel at the moment, and CG just looks so good next to them because the other ones are just hideous and ugly, and they bathe. They rarely bathe, and they have 10,000 cats in their house. And I'm seeing like all these wonderful numbers, 5 million in 2020, and Graham Nolan makes 17,000 in a few hours, 100,000 here, 100,000 there, 66,000 there. And I said to them that no, CG and EVS, they're not going away. They're the future.
Yeah, we're not going away. You can't make us leave.
No,
there's no chance of that.
To them, we're like COVID, and it's like we're the virus in their eyes, but we're here to stay. We're not going away anytime soon.
And
no
they
vaccine can take us.
They try to hurt our feelings. They say we don't like you, and I say that means absolutely nothing to us. We don't care about whether or not you like us. We care about the customers and their money. That's what we care about. And as long as we're making good comics and customers are buying them and giving us money, that's what makes us happy. And if some of these people don't like us very much, I guess we'll survive.
Good. Their tears give me sustenance. I like it. They're very sweet. SJW tears are sweet. No sweeter tears to drink than those tears this sauteed and unearned pride.
Let's have you and me together, pal. I understand. I realized yesterday that I am just like Luke Skywalker. I too am a moisture farmer, and my crop is SJW tears, just like Luke Skywalker. Farming moisture.
I got accused by someone I've criticized on my stream. Oh no, not my stream, but a friend of mine's stream, that we're out here debunking happiness because we're telling everyone how terrible the new Star Wars movies are. I'm like, yeah, I like that. I'm out here debunking happiness. Your debunked happiness makes me happy. So I'm out there reaping those tears, and they're scrumptious and delicious and sweet.
Yes, indeed. She Haikyo is also delicious and sweet. By Billy Tucci, who is, a scrumptious fellow.
He's adorable.
He's adorable, yeah. Back She Haikyo for Billy Tucci, and let's get this campaign to 135,000. I like rounder numbers. I don't like 499. I like 500, John.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why. I mean, that's the book is called 499 because again, Zach has OCD and this drives him nuts. Like this to him goes,
like he named it 499. He has severe OCD apparently, as far as I've seen. Why would you do this to yourself? Why would you ever do that to yourself?
That because he's creating drama, but not for other people, just for him. It's like this is terrible. There's so much static with this. It's not 500. Me, I just look at it and go, yeah. 499.
Yeah, 499 is like pessimistic. Like 500, that's victory. Yeah, you should have went with 500. Would have made everything complete.
I wish you would think about that all day and all night and not be able to sleep. That would be
He
fine.
might.
Donald DeLay wants to know if I have to bring up the 499 push-ups every time I talk about 499. Well, it's about 499 push-ups. Yeah, Donald, I do.
Of course.
Just like when I have to talk about Brutus, and it's a late book. I have to talk about it being late.
That book shipped though, didn't it?
Donald is in the chat just talking shit. He won't come in here. I don't
didn't get my
understand
book.
it.
I didn't get my book.
I didn't get mine either, but I don't think I backed it. I'm not sure if I did. I did back Red Rooster, though. I've not received that either, but I understand I'll be getting it soon, allegedly, supposedly. Fregaboom's Black Flag Pineapple Perception also enjoying a renaissance right now, getting some more backers. So close, so very, very close to 200. This is killing me. Like, this is my OCD. I'm like, why hasn't this become 200,000 yet? Damn it.
At least
never tell your backers that you're going to reward yourself if you hit 200,000. See, that's the catch there, because he said, if I hit 200,000, I'm going to take this bunny suit off. It's been on lockdown ever since he said that.
That's true.
Nobody wants it off.
Yeah, you got to put one on. You got to give them something like fake eyebrows for a month. You got to reward them.
Yeah. Mermaids by Mermaids by our own Adam Post, who's here right now. Adam, I've been talking about this book. You are in my rotation here.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Oh, what's it about?
Mermaids is the aesthetic is it's like Game of Thrones with mermaids, but it's about one of the mermaids who's a teacher who decides to join with rebels who are taking on this one evil queen who's trying to wipe out all the other kingdoms. And we see her change. We see kind of like, why are they fighting? What the heck's going on? It's a 48-page full color book. It's a really large, extensive world of characters with a lot of storylines built up to it. And that's the short pitch on the mermaids. And we
what
are.
What if you're an ass man?
If you like heinies, and we all do. I mean, first of all, I would suggest you rethink that and consider boobs, because boobs will always take care of you.
That's what you're selling here. Yeah.
We're really in the boob business. We're in the boob delivery system. And this was a good opportunity for delivering on boobs. Now, as far as heinies go, there are some good-looking heiny type situations in this book from the back. There are a lot of beautiful women in this. And some people think that I have this thing where I just like to have, women in comics all over the place. And the answer is yes, I do like to excessively do that. And there's no one to stop me from doing that just yet. And maybe one day I can be slowed down, but probably not. I also have this other peculiar habit of drawing into comics women having their arms bitten off. There's a shark mermaid who's biting one of the other mermaids' arms off. Here and also in College of the Dead, one of the covers had a woman having her arms being eaten by zombies. And that wasn't even intentional. So I'm going to talk to a professional about it and see if it's something we can either work out or if we can make more money with it.
Okay. All right.
That's the story.
That's the pitch. By the way, this art looks great. I really, really like this. The art looks great throughout. And I recommend that people do back Mermaids by Adam Post. Prior issues notwithstanding, he's going to fix all of that. And this is going to be the first perfectly professional looking project by Adam Post. He promises that, and I believe him.
Sure.
He's like, sure. First Man graphic novel by Andy Smith. Let's check this out.
First Man. You know the drill. A college kid is imbued with great power and likes it. Penumbra has other plans, and Hand delivers him to Monarch, a fun 64-page action-packed comic book, harkening back to the glory days of Marvel Comics, only on Indiegogo.
People are saying that you're kind of like a Hugh Hefner type of character, by the way, Adam.
A Hugh Hefner because of the girls?
Yeah, I kind of see that now.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm evolving into. It's taking a little time, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Well, the DC and Marvel have made beautiful women in comics kind of a commodity. Because right now they look like what? Like the penguin, like the female penguin, and men. It's kind of like you either pick between incredibly large, like a really large, fat female penguin, or men.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'd rather look at beautiful women than ugly ones, and I know I might be in the minority there.
Nothing wrong with being a minority.
That's wrong. Think you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it, but it is true. What is give the 20-second elevator pitch on First Man Andy, and this time do it with energy and excitement and enthusiasm and vigor, as JFK used to say.
Vigor. Luke Henry, college student, is imbued with this essence from another world, and he's being hunted by Monarch, who is trying to collect all 10 of these essences. He has 9 of the 10. He comes to Earth to get the last one from Luke. Penumbra, the female, has a special type of essence that is inhabiting Luke that allows him to turn into Apollo, the first man. She's playing both sides without either one knowing it. So there's a little intrigue there. Harkens back to like the good old Silver Age of comic books with good superhero action. Tells it's a fun story. That's what I like to say. My cat's going crazy.
Is there pornography in it?
No.
How's the boob quotient? I mean, that's the Penumbra is beautiful.
Pretty good. And you know, it's what I like about superhero comics. Fun action, backstory with Luke Henry, so you learn about him, obviously, and it's a self-contained story, 64 pages, perfect bound, and that's it.
Pornography, though?
No
pornography.
Not in this.
All right, so there's no pornography in this book.
It's all ages.
Okay. Are you sure? I mean, this guy right here is kind of saying, "Hey, come and get it." He's like, "No." She's like, "Okay, maybe I will."
He's confident. He knows what he's got.
Yeah,
that's storytelling right there. Yeah.
I mean, John Malin, you see what's going on there.
It. Yeah, the only thing I've noticed is at least up to this point, I didn't see that man ass. So you get that in, man. Anna's gonna be on fire for it.
Yeah.
I got the man bulge. That's up there, with myself, Rob Liefeld, who's the guy, Chris Williams. I mean, you're on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just something to think about. So more ass, perhaps pornography, a small dose of pornography. Horseradish is here for $20. He says, "Hi, Ethan. Great auction. I wish I could have bid on them all. We'll be backing Alamo, Charlie's, and others tonight. Thank you, Horst. Backed Wrecked and Rainbow a while back. Looking forward to receiving the great art. Cheers to all." Hey, thank you, Horst, a million times. You beautiful supporter of Comicsgate. We appreciate you. This guy, he's really good. He buys everything. He's really supporting the Comicsgate, supporting creators, and we appreciate it.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at all these First Man covers here. Different artists, great art, the greatest artists in comics. How did you get Jason?
They're in the program book, so they're not actual variant covers or anything. They'll be in the program book. I asked him.
You did? You said, "Will you draw this?" And he said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Ask and you shall receive.
Not necessarily.
You won't receive if you don't ask. That's for sure.
You never know. You never know.
I ask and they go, "No, can't be seen with you. No." But that's just the way it goes. Over here, Bleeding Cool News. I should have called this up before I did it. All right, we already know this happened, but Bleeding Cool wrote an article about it. Comicsgate figure quits Republican vice chair after QAnon gaffe. Rich Johnson picks up on this pretty quickly here.
Oh no! So
embarrassing.
Hey, before you
how
go,
embarrassing!
Could you tell me who Edwin Boyette is? I mean,
Edwin Boyette. When Comicsgate first, when my show first got into the swing of things, Edwin Boyette was a guy who was hanging out in the chat all the time. He was there with your boy Zach when he was doing Diversity in Comics. He was in the chat. And he was just so vocal in the chat that we decided to let him come on to the show. People wanted to kind of meet him and put a face to his comments, which were always kind of well thought out and everything like that. And he quickly became a regular for some reason. He was just a fan. But he quickly became a regular on everyone's live streams, and he started to live stream himself and became a really big advocate for Comicsgate. And then eventually he decided that he wanted to control Comicsgate, and that didn't go so well for him. He wanted to implement rules. He wanted to gatekeep fans and customers and all this stuff. And so Edwin kind of fell out of favor with Comicsgate and eventually called us all potato men. He didn't get to meet you, Graham, when he said that. See, that's the thing.
He wouldn't call Graham Potato Man.
No, he wouldn't call you. He wouldn't call you a potato man either.
Really?
No, I don't think he would.
Okay.
But
what annoys me about this article, I read it earlier, and I'm not going to go into too much because I know you're going to go into it. I'm just going to talk about the title. But he hasn't been a figure in Comicsgate now for 18 months. Right. And it goes back to the same old crap, like the Wikipedia page, like when you Google Comicsgate. I'm sick and tired of having the conversation with people about situations that are something that either happened right in the beginning or sort of in the middle, but they're not happening now. And when I try to explain to people that I don't witness any of these things that we're accused of, I don't get treated like that by anyone that I associate with. I get called things like I'm delusional, I must be brainwashed, and all these. And it's like, this is clickbait. This title here is just clickbait. It's to get somebody to open it. And because there is nothing. Sorry, Ethan, I just railroaded you then, and it just really annoys me.
No,
brainwashed to success.
You're 100% right. But this is, again, so Edwin left. He cursed Comicsgate. He said comics were silly, even though he was a really big part of it. I pointed out that Edwin kind of would go from one kind of thing to the next. He would get really passionate about a cause, and sometimes he would get into extremist causes. And, he quit Comicsgate because I think his wife was running for mayor or something like that. So he joined the Republican Party of Hawaii, and there is one, believe it or not. And they put him in charge because Edwin Boyette, he's just soft. He's a good, well-spoken. I can't do Edwin's voice.
He's got a great voice. Yeah. Slight southern draw to it.
With a whistle.
A little whistle. A whistle.
With the S's,
Say.
Yeah.
Some people do them really well.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do a pretty good schemes and scams impression.
Schemes and scams. It was weird.
Someone mentioned, I don't know, may have even been you, Lit Dev, that like QAnon was like the biggest scheme and scam kind of ever, apparently.
It really was. There's some crazy stuff that people believed. Like Trump's not going to be inaugurated as a 45th president. He's going to be inaugurated as a 19th president because some weird, he literally says Grant, the last one to use like some sort of, I think the Insurrection Act or something like that. It's like, what was this nonsense? This stuff?
I heard crazy. A lot of these QAnon guys are globe earthers. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously.
Nolan, how would you sum up Edwin Boyette? Because you have a better take on things than I do.
Well, Edwin was a pretty decent guy when he was a decent guy, and then when he and Mike did their split, they started showing their fangs a lot more. Especially Edwin, he became, I don't know. He just really snuggled up to Doug, I guess, and Doug's causes because very conservative Christian, and I guess somewhere their views met, and there was a romance of sorts. Well, Doug says he's not a love guy, but
it's not like I love him, right? That was weird.
It's just anyway. He's an odd character, but he has a lot of leadership potential. So. Edwin, anyway, he went into politics. He went into the GOP. And Edwin always kind of, first of all, he spent way too much time on the internet because he's sitting there recommending to the mainstream Republican Party videos by Styx Hexenhammer 666, who is extremely entertaining if you are conservative. But also, Styx Hexenhammer is not really the guy that the GOP wants to push forward as, we don't want to look too deeply into, this kind of thing. They don't want to put up with them. But Edwin Boyette, because he spent so much time on the internet, he just didn't realize that he had wacky ideas, including some QAnon stuff. So Edwin Boyette was a prominent figure a few years ago, at least he says this, in the Comicsgate movement, an online activist group that campaigns, as Wikipedia puts it, in opposition to diversity and progressivism in North American superhero comics. Well, I'd say in opposition to progressivism, not so much to diversity.
Are we activists, though?
I think Comicsgate is pro-diversity. Pro-diversity of thought, especially.
I think we're more commentators than activists. I mean, we don't get out and picket anything. We laugh at a lot of the stuff. Do activists just laugh at?
Well, I mean, yes, but on the other hand, like, we do believe in closing the wallet. We do, that kind of a thing. Like, is that activism when you say, look, we are a consumer movement that is not going to support people who disrespect us, who disrespect the customers? I mean, in a way, it is a brand of activism, even though it's not the kind of activism that they would be.
We're not breaking anybody's windows,
right?
Or anything like that. But
yeah,
we
we're
are
not violent. We're not Black Lives Matter.
No. We're just saying, hey, these comics suck, and we take you up on your recommendation to not buy them. All right, so those who he engaged online may recall his replies in the form of a portrait shot video embedded in tweets, his face taking up the whole screen. Well spoken, but freaking some recipients out of it. Yeah, those have all been deleted now, as has his Twitter account, because but they were the usual talking points with just slightly less invective that you might find elsewhere. A few such comments remain on Bleeding Cool articles, including the time he got involved talking Comicsgate with Joe Quesada. But the original posts and videos are long gone. That was something else when Joe got drunk all weekend and started fighting with me and Zach. It was fucking crazy.
Oh, I would love to watch that.
Are those posts? Where can we find that stuff?
John, did he comics or something?
He fucked with John too, I think. Was he talking to you?
It was 3 days of
just
back and forth.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
At one point, he was co-writing a Comicsgate comic called Blood in the Jungle about American soldiers fighting vampires in Pearl Harbor and beyond. I didn't know that. Did anybody know that Edwin Boyette was writing a comic?
Yeah. Well, didn't he write something that Mike published? I thought he did, or he was going to. I thought it was involved in the crossover with your characters, John. I don't know.
I know he did the voiceover for that Lone Star trailer.
My characters, no. I think he was doing a backup story at some point.
Something like that.
Mike. I don't know if it ever happened.
All right, that seems to have been withdrawn. Why is this a link? This is a link to an Indiegogo project. All right. He did fall out badly at various points with other prominent Comicsgate figures as the group began to eat itself. But this week, he came to greater prominence for his political work because it turns out that Edwin Boyette was indeed his real name, and he was also the Republican vice chair of communications in Hawaii. No, he became that. He wasn't all along. I mean, he just became that. As things might have gone slightly off the rails this week, on Sunday, Hawaii News Now reported that Edwin Boyette posted a series of tweets that expressed support for QAnon conspiracy theorists using the Hawaii Republican Party Twitter.
I don't know why would you do this?
I don't know. Like, Edwin, you should not be speaking for the Republican Party. Like, I mean,
if they want to take a position on QAnon, they'll take it. They don't want you to announce what the Republican Party's position is on QAnon, which is why, like, I never thought that Edwin would be making, international news.
No. MI05 says war campaign drove him crazier, and to be fair, he was right. This is just a natural thing. Like, it's like, the way Comicsgate works. It's like, it's a slow evolution. People who don't belong end up going away, and it's kind of good in that way. People who belong stick around and get stronger and do better and better, and that's going to happen forever. There are going to be more weirdos that come on here and want to aren't happy, don't get along, cause problems, and then eventually disappear. And then people like Cecil and John Malin and, guys who have been here all along and are still here are going to still be here, I think.
I've watched Comicsgate for a while, and it would start off as a large group, but usually people who tend to leave, and they tend to leave because their own ego kind of impales them, and they tend to fall out of the graces of Comicsgate because of that ego. It takes them away. It just drives the wedge between everyone else.
It's funny. The laughing man in the chat has it close. He says, I mean, that's kind of what Edwin tried with Comicsgate. He wanted to take over and be the voice for CG. So he wanted to take over and be the voice of the Hawaiian GOP. I don't know if that's quite right, but it is close. Like, Edwin just thinks that if people listen to him, he can sort out problems. Like, people who, it's like, people say bad things about QAnon, but if Edwin wants you to just think of it this way, and it's like, people don't want to think of it that way. Like, that's not what so the now deleted tweet stated that while acknowledging that QAnon is false, that people who follow Q don't deserve mockery. The world is a complex place. There are bad actors, injustice, corruption. The process, I can't do the whistle. The processes of justice and the mechanisms of our republic are slow by design. Abuses and wrongs are always swifter than correction. That was close.
You have to throw in like the outrageous laughter that Edwin would do.
Kind of like that, right? I mean, like, yeah.
No, we need other people, other professionals to come in.
Yeah, everyone's very rusty on the Edwin.
Yeah, we're not practicing.
We barely talked about him for months.
Yeah, we haven't.
What is he going to do next? I mean, we'll have to keep an eye out.
Headrock says you're terrible at this, Ethan. Fuck. There's some. Deadwood Dale does a great Edwin.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where Deadwood Dale is.
Cecil's never around anymore.
Yeah, where is Cecil?
He does a great imitation.
Cecil's good at every imitation, though. All right. So also, we should make it abundantly clear that the people who subscribe to the Q fiction were largely motivated by a sincere and deep love for America. Patriotism and love of country should never be ridiculed. The story was picked up from by everyone from the Washington Examiner to the Daily Mail. It's like these are right-wing sources. And the Hawaii GOP had to come out and say, we should make it abundantly clear. The people who subscribe to the Q fiction were, this is Edwin's tweet here. All right. The GOP, I don't know if they've responded yet. On Facebook, Edwin Boyette posted, today I gave my resignation as vice chair for communications for the Hawaii Republican Party. I will be off social media for a few days. Mahalo. Followed by his resignation note. He said, thanks a lot. The error was mine. It was an error in judgment. Last year, Edwin Boyette stated that regarding his career, Comicsgate was actually good prep for politics. And politics gave some insights in retrospect for Comicsgate.
So this is our fault.
No, I feel like it's the fault of Mike's and Doug's for giving Edwin a lot of bad advice and making him feel comfortable in his weirdo point of view.
That is a great point right there. And by the way, his Edwin going to the GOP, he became insufferable whenever he spoke about Comicsgate. He'd be like, this is comic books are just they're there's not enough power behind comic books. They're not important. It's just for potato men and children. All this stuff. It's like, dude, you were totally into Comicsgate. You were totally into comics and the importance of comics while people listened to you. And I think that's the thing. It's like people were actually listening to Edwin Boyette for a little while when he was a part of Comicsgate and he wasn't acting kooky.
He was that voice of reason early on, right?
Yeah, a few times. And then he just decided, he was going to try to take control of it and try to enforce rules and standards of behavior by other adults on the internet. And it was very ridiculous. I said, Edwin, pull out. People do not need to come to you with their problems. It's your ego that is making you think that you have the solution to anyone's problems at all. That was Edwin's doom. In his Hawaii GOP tweets, he also described the emergence of QAnon. As the Q phenomena caught on, several personalities began to be able to monetize their broadcasts through super chats, donations, and sales of merchandise. Once money entered the equation, the broadcast around Q became increasingly hyperbolic. Thank you, Edwin. And this allows Rich Johnson to compare that to Comicsgate. You know,
Edwin and Doug should team up, right? Didn't Doug have like a big surge in subscribers? Like he could use an Edwin Boyette.
That would be funny. Welcome, Adam Friended.
What's up? How's it going?
Dude, what a burst of sunshine.
I'm trying to stay off Twitter as much as usual. I think I might be addicted to Twitter. So
you're sending a lot of tweets. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, I want to quit Twitter so bad. I really do.
I know it's terrible. It's so addictive. It's so addictive. So, but I saw that you posted in the green room, so I wanted to pop in, and I was like, God, I hope he's still going. And I popped in, and Literature Dub was talking about how people fall away and disappear and stuff like that. I'm like, I gotta get in there.
You gotta get in here.
I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those fair weather Comicsgate people who just show up and then disappear.
Yeah, we did a kind of composite version of Edwin Boyette and Adam Friended called Adwin Boyfriended. That meme stuck around for a little while, but I guess it's dead now officially.
I lived through it. I survived. I survived it.
The chat figured out that Graham Nolan's name is Granola.
No,
Granola.
Yeah, he does not like that a bit, but it's probably going to stick.
Don't let it get to you, Graham. Every meme has its sunset. You have to survive it.
Yeah.
Words of iron, Adam.
yeah, exactly. You just have to live through it. That's the most important thing. Every meme must die one day.
I don't think any of mine will.
Yeah,
because I've been here for 3 years and I'm still, they're still saying the same stupid shit about me. They haven't realized yet that I'm not fat. And any of the other things they say, they haven't realized. I'm hoping that'll die someday. So, Adam, what do you think of all this stuff that's going on surrounding Edwin Boyette and the QAnon conspiracy?
I mean, it's fascinating, but it is kind of a dumb thing to tweet it from the Republic. I mean, it's just such a hot button issue. I don't know how he wouldn't know, no, that's probably a bad idea. I mean, I instantly thought that was a bad idea. What he was trying to do, though, like, I admire the reconciliation portion of it just because I'm like a reconciler. Like, I'm one who's for forgiveness and dropping the hatchet, burying the hatchet and all that stuff. So
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is Ethan losing weight? Anything about pies? No, I see her looking through the chat. Yeah. You give into the pie man meme, and plus everybody loves pie. So the pie thing is never going to go away.
It wasn't even that big of a deal.
Who doesn't love pie? Now I go to the grocery store and I see a pie. What do I think of? I think of Ethan Van Sciver. It's not even right.
They call me Pie Man. I don't eat that. You know what the thing about it is, though, is the meme started because I was denied a pie, Graham. I went to Walmart with my wife and I tried to sneak an apple pie into the cart. She said, "You're not getting that apple pie." And then she put it back. And I came back and told the story about that. And that instantly became me eating pies all the time just because of one pie that I didn't even get. And because I became Pie Man, I started to eat pies.
That's marketing. It's marketing right there. It can just, your symbol is the pie.
Right.
Who doesn't love pie? What
That
guy?
should have been the seal. That should have been the seal for all caps comic books.
Yeah, did you see that Memeology 101? They used Ethan as like the fat guy example.
That's why everybody is saying that. By the way,
No, I didn't see that.
wait. So I'll find it really quick here. So that's why people are saying, is Ethan losing weight? They're saying, my goodness, Ethan looks like he's losing. I'm not losing weight. You guys just saw a picture of me that is not accurate. And that's all it is. It kind of threw you for a loop. And Memeology, shame on you wherever you are. Let me just, I don't know if I can.
Pie Man is not bad. Pie Man is not a bad meme. I don't even think it really gives into being like fat or anything.
Look at this. This is so people see this right here and they go, "Oh my God, Ethan looks like he lost some weight." I never looked like that.
Is that Sheila's channel?
That's a picture of when Trump was in office. Now that Biden's in office, now
I'm
fighting for him.
Lean times.
Yes. No, because Sheila Allen took my picture and she ran it through all kinds of fat. Like she ran it through one fat filter and then she doubled down on it.
Yeah.
And then she keeps doubling and tripling down on the fat filter until my head is a blueberry. And then Memeology picked it up.
They did.
Just, you know.
Wow.
That is
a great
awful.
compliment.
I never
See what you
thought
have
of
to
putting
live
it through
Graham?
multiple times.
Are you ready for that?
How many pies does a man have to eat with his own hands?
Oh
to
my
be
God.
done that I'm
For me over here, because our pies are totally different to your pies. So when I think of pie, I don't probably think of the same pie as you do. Like obviously we have.
When I
apple
think of pie, I'm thinking of something completely different than you guys.
Excuse me, madam. Do you have your pie eating license?
Our pie's
I
nice and savoury over here. Funny enough.
that got 311,000 views.
Yeah.
That video with my fat face, 311,000 views.
Behind the scenes.
Oh my God.
Is that your
Well,
most
let's
popular
see it.
video?
What is it?
I'm going to use that as a before and after picture, and it's going to make my eating acceptable because people are going to say, whatever you're eating, it's working. And I'm going to be like shoving pies into my face 2 at a time. Thank you. It is working. I'm losing a lot of weight on my pie diet. Did you see this before picture? The 311,000 of you saw? That's what I looked like before I started eating pies. Amazing. Purple Pie Man is a strawberry shortcake villain, says Cumberbatch Pepper Pie. Don't I know it? I know a lot about strawberry shortcake right now because of the book. All right. So why we're here, Adam Friended? Why we're here, John Malin? Why we're here, Lit Dev, Andy Smith, Charlie's London, and Adam Post. We're here to celebrate Graham Nolan, a hero.
Remember the Alien Alamo.
The man who has given us yet another great comic book campaign, Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo, as we charge headlong towards $20,000, and we are now at $18,720, 285 backers. But you see, the thing about it is that 285 might sound like a lot, but it isn't. It isn't. Not when I have 995 people watching right now. So what I would like to say to those people, Joe Biden gave you $600 today.
I like the way you think.
I do too.
I know this is true. $600 is bullshit. You should simultaneously be angry with the president and also treat that money like found money and back Alien Alamo. Alien Alamo by Graham Nolan. Do it as a form of protest. Do it as a way of saying, I
remember the Alamo. Spend that money like a patriot.
Absolutely. Background Alien Alamo, 285 backers is not enough. Not when we have almost 1,000 people watching right now. Thank you. We got another backer there. I appreciate you guys. Let's push this to 20,000. I believe in you guys. I do. Biden bucks, says Danger Vanessa. $600? Are you kidding? These scumbags. These people in the Democrat Party. Is it going to be 2,000 eventually? Are they going to send these people $2,000?
I think so.
Bits and pieces. Yeah.
Installment number 1, installment number 2 is supposed to be 1,400. That's right around the corner, right?
And above us to 2,000. We'll get 2,000 eventually.
I mean, get it done. I understand they're playing politics, but there are people.
They're buying voters. That's what they're doing because
totally.
when the next election comes up, people aren't going to want that to get shut off.
There was some talking about holding that payment over people's heads, saying you've got to get the vaccine and then we'll give you the payment or something like that.
What?
They're playing game. Yeah, you hadn't heard about that?
You get the payment when you show up for your vaccine? Are you kidding me?
Oh no,
That's ridiculous.
They've put that out publicly already.
Really?
Only gold level citizens are allowed to get the payment.
My wife has been had the vaccine, and she hasn't grown a third arm yet. So I think we're safe.
Can she fly?
Jump in and get it.
I mean, has she got the power of flight now?
No.
All right, then
She
it's
does.
hardly worth getting the vaccine now.
The nagging is a little less, so that's good.
You nagged her or her to you?
An anti-nag vaccine.
Yeah. If that was true, then everyone would be like getting their wife to get the vaccine.
As I said, over here on the TV, when there's adverts for like holidays for next year and stuff, they've actually got it on the adverts now. vaccine and go. Like you can book your holiday if you've had your vaccine, and they're billing it like almost like it's a drive-through thing. Vaccine and go. Like you can get on the plane and just go on a holiday. It's really weird.
They are supposed to be vaccinating at Disneyland too, which I think is another enticement. I wonder if they'll be opening the ride. Like, come on down to Disneyland and get vaccinated. It would be kind of cool to get vaccinated at Disneyland, to be honest with you.
I would do that.
Yeah, totally.
Will Goofy do it? I want Goofy to do it, or one of the Disney. Oh,
there you go. Mickey Mouse is out there giving the vaccine.
I was wondering why you guys like the idea, but I'm like, what's the cool part of that? Like a Buzz Lightyear or Ariel or something, you know?
Yeah, cool would be like getting vaccinated in a back alley with like some hookers and
oh my God,
I mean, that's cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Junkie
do you even need to get vaccinated, Malin, since you've already had it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not planning on getting vaccinated.
And Kimberly, yes, my wife has had both vaccinations. My wife has done both rounds. Yes.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, ready to go.
I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do it though. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I will get a vaccination.
I've seen someplace they had an article saying that the vaccination has caused the COVID cases to drop dramatically. So I don't know if it's fake news or what, but
that's good. I hope it has. Glib Facsimile says $2,000 sure makes up for the broken economy and no job.
Welcome, Glib.
Yeah.
I heard the stock market just flattened out too. You know.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just about to start investing.
I was just about to doing.
Now it's time to invest. Everything's dropping.
Hold on, let's see Bitcoin. Now,
Bitcoin up or down? I don't understand Bitcoin, not at all. So I know a lot of gold people like Bitcoin, and it seems odd to me that they say, you know, U.S. currency's dead ever since we went off the gold standard when Bitcoin was never on the gold standard. Bitcoin is not on any standard.
Well, it's like this. If everyone agrees that it's worth something, then it doesn't matter. Like it's not. It doesn't even physically exist. But I think the idea is, hey, you know, this is worth this much, and then does it bounce off of what's going on with the United States dollar and other things?
I think it's if everyone agrees that it's going to be worth more in the future than it's worth now. As soon as everybody agrees that it's going to be worth less in the future than it is worth now, then it goes to zero.
Well, I cannot wait.
Based on? I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I don't understand what the value is based on.
The value is based on you have some, and I see that more people agreed, more dumb people invested in it, and so the price went up. And I'm going, I want to buy it from you, so that I can make more money. And then I guess as soon as you cash out by selling it to some other dummy, it's like a hot potato.
Yeah, it is a hot potato.
That's like a pyramid scheme.
It's kind of like a pyramid scheme. The biggest problem with it is that governments haven't blessed it. So if governments decide, well, we don't like this, we don't control it enough, we want to do this to regulate it, it's a big problem. You know, especially if you have a government that doesn't care what happens to people who invested in it. They'll destroy it if they decide to.
The stock market hasn't blessed it either. There's no ETF to trade it or anything like that.
Well, that I don't think is completely correct. I think that there are stocks that do track Bitcoin. They like invest in Bitcoin and stuff if people really want to buy into it that way.
What stocks? I mean, I looked up and they have been trying to get a Bitcoin ETF on the stock market for a long time, and they haven't been able to. Regulators won't let them. So,
all right, I'll look for it a little bit, see if it's something that looks like it's come through or not.
Yeah, I was curious because that's like the thing. Like if it's
on CNBC every day, they're giving the price of
talk
Bitcoin.
About Bitcoin, yeah,
and they're giving the price constantly. Like, oh, this is an asset class. It's like, all right, if you want to invest in it, like, oh, I better invest in that. It keeps going up every day.
That's it. What is the asset? I keep asking, what's the underlying asset?
Scarcity
is not an asset.
There's only so many Bitcoins in the world, and you know, it's based on it's like do you want one? And I think honestly that's about it.
I feel bad for kids because if kids are buying this stock and their first investment experience is with Bitcoin, and sooner or later it goes to zero, they're going to be off investing for the rest of their lives.
I think you just need to know when to hop off the train. But I mean, again,
Yeah.
look, you know, a year ago, this was at $6,000 or $7,000, and we were going,
Wow.
Yeah, because it was down from like 18,000. It crashed.
yeah. And then now it hit 40,000, and then it came down again to 32,000, and this seems to be the current floor.
To be honest, if anyone follows, sorry to interrupt, but that is what I do. If you follow Mike Miller on Twitter and he starts bragging about Bitcoin and cryptos, as he does sometimes, that's probably a good time to sell. You kind of do the opposite of what Mike's bragging about at the time and then pick it up again. No disrespect to Mike, just in terms of timing purchases.
No disrespect to Mike?
No, not at all.
Some disrespect.
If you can make money off Bitcoin, more power to you. I have a friend of mine that made about 100 grand off of Bitcoin, but he ended up making 100 grand when he could have easily made a couple of million because he sold too soon. So there's that aspect of it too. Like,
you got to know when. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Yeah.
But you'll never go wrong backing Alien Alamo. That's the good thing about it.
No, of course not. We are this close right now to $19,000, just one backer away from that. 290 backers. We're going to hit 300 pretty soon. And hooray! That's great news. Going through the campaigns real quick here. Rainbow the Brute just jumped up to 254. Wow, almost 255. It jumped up more than $1,000. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. I don't know if that moved. Nope, no Cyberfrog backers. Snowman backers. Anyone? Yes, Snowman backers. Oh, I love doing this. This was old school Comicsgate Live. We used to just like update streams. Congratulations,
nice.
Charlie's London. Nice
jump. I'm so close
Wow.
to stretch goal now. So close.
Let me refresh Graham Nolan one more time, even though we just did it. Did we get him over to 19 yet? Not yet. Not yet. We'll get
so
there.
Close.
We'll get there. 499 did not move. 499. She Hike Yo by Billy Tucci always moves. I mean, it does. People, yeah, it did. People back Billy. All right, come on, Dan Fraga. Let's go, pal. Let's go. Make it happen. No. I'm telling you, it's hard.
Wow.
When Dan's in here, it works. All right, mermaids. Oh, no mermaids, Adam. What happened there?
I think we got something. We got one.
First man, Andy Smith. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's good news. All right. So now we've got Patrick Thomas Parnell in the stream. Hello, sir.
What's up?
I got to take off. I got to bounce. My ass going to die. I'll try and join back in later.
I got to go. I forgot. Dan Fraga's got his interview show. And I don't want to interfere with it. Dan Fraga is interviewing Roy Thomas. And as much as I want to hang out, especially with Adam Friended, who I haven't seen in a long time, you know, I want to hang out with Adam.
We can hang out anytime, man. Well, just hit me up. We'll start up a stream on my channel.
Okay. All right. John Malin, it is great to see you as usual. You are getting fit. You're an inspiration.
Yeah, look at that. Looking better.
You are. I mean that. Like literature. Yeah.
Handsome man.
Handsome. Literature Devil, great to have you on my channel. I appreciate your being here, pal. Andy and Patrick and Charlie's and Adam and of course Graham. Congratulations. You are going to get to 20,000 probably in the next hour. But you're going to have to do it on your channel, I think, because I want to make room for Dan.
Graham, I just backed your book.
Who did?
Yeah, I did. I'm excited for it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Let's refresh and see if Patrick was the one who put us over.
It hasn't updated yet. Let me see.
No, it didn't update.
You will though. You will. Let's cook
it.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Ethan.
Back Alien Alamo, and we'll see you again soon with another video. Go watch Dan Fraga's video over on the Fragaboom channel. Have a great night.
Thanks, everybody, showing up.